Hokage hundreds of millions of rewards. Chapter 221-240. Chapter 221 out of thin air. Shocked everyone. Seeing that Kakashi was one step ahead of himself, Emperor Guy said. Kakashi, it looks like I lost this time. Between the words, Emperor Guy glanced at the Kakashi team, even though they were still 3 people. But it was a different person. Shiyu was replaced by Chiyo. Kakashi, what about Shiyu? For Shiyu, Emperor Guy is quite concerned. It's hard to say that he likes Shiyu very much, but he is still grateful for the last time the latter cured Little Lee. Hearing what King Guy said, Little Lee, Tenten and Neji were also puzzled. And Kakashi set out together, and logically they should be here together. I encountered a troublesome guy on the way, Tokyo stayed to deal with it. Ah. Emperor Guy was stunned for a moment, and then said, speaking of troublesome guys, we also encountered one here. You also met. Well, it's the partner who came to the village with Uchiha Itachi 2 years ago. The weasel's partner. Kakashi murmured, and then said, if my information is correct, he should be one of the current ninja swordsmen 7. Open black lens bracket Kisame Hoshigaki close black lens bracket holder, known as the Kurigakure monster. No wonder I think the big sword in his hand looks familiar. It turns out to be one of the 7 ninja swords in Kurigakure village Shark Muscle. Emperor Guy is no stranger to ninja swordsman 7 and 7 congregations. Because when he was still genin, he was surrounded by 7 ninja swordsmen. If his father, Might Dai, hadn't arrived, 04 would have died in the war that year. The ghost shark who stalked us, wouldn't it be Itachi who stalked you? Seeing Kakashi nodding, Emperor Guy had a look of consternation, and there was a sense of reproach in his words. Kakashi. Since it's Itachi, how could you let Shiyu face it? Although Emperor Guy knows that Shiyu's strength is not weak, it is estimated that he already has the level of elite Jonin. But he knew how powerful Itachi was, especially demonic illusion. Kakashi had been lying there for over a month at first, and it would have been even longer if Tsunade hadn't helped him. Because of this, he felt that Itachi was much more dangerous than a ghost. Just as Emperor Guy's questioning fell, before Kakashi could answer, Naruto was the first to speak. Mr. Guy, don't worry. That Itachi is a fake, definitely not Shiyu's opponent. Why are you fakes over there? King Guy exclaimed. Looks like you are there too. Kakashi responded and immediately said, according to Tokyo, it is a kind of ninjutsu called elephant turning jutsu, which can turn. After hearing Kakashi's simple recitation, Emperor Guy finally understood the reason. No wonder that the previous, a fake ghost shark's ability is almost the same as the ghost shark, but the strength is a lot worse. It turned out to be the limitation of ninjutsu. Kakashi, even if it's just a fake, its strength should not be underestimated. Can Shiyu handle it? Hearing Emperor Guy's concern, Kakashi said, don't worry, that kid's strength is much more than what you see in his performance. Ah. Emperor Guy was stunned for a moment, and then said, it seems that you have a lot of things to do with me. Is there any? Seeing Kakashi pretending to be confused, Emperor Guy also said angrily. Kakashi, wait for this matter, you must take care of it. Otherwise, I'll ask Shiyu myself. Just as King Guy's voice fell, before Kakashi could respond, one suddenly sounded first. Mr. Guy, what do you want to ask me? Hearing this voice, everyone was stunned. Next second, their gazes followed, and a handsome figure also came into view. No one else is speaking. It was Shiyu. Everyone present was stunned when Shiyu appeared, except Naruto and Kakashi. Because only the 2 of them knew about Shiyu's ability. Shiyu. When did you get here? Hearing the surprise of Emperor Guy, Shiyu didn't hide anything. Just now. Emperor Guy was stunned for a moment, and then directly denied it. Impossible. If you approached us, I couldn't have been unaware. Unless you appear out of nowhere. Not that Emperor Guy is confident, but that he does have this ability. If you don't even have this insight, then you are an elite Jonin. Not only him, but also Kakashi and Chiyo. But what surprised him was that Shiyu appeared beside them without a sound, as if he appeared out of thin air. Because of the closeness of such a name, not to mention him, I am afraid that even Neji and Tenten and others can find it. This is also the reason why he questioned out loud. Guy's question had just fallen, and before Shiyu answered, Naruto said it first. Mr. Guy. You're right, Shiyu appeared out of thin air. As soon as Naruto said this, Emperor Guy, Chiyo and others were instantly stunned. Appearing out of thin air, could it be that Shiyu can't do something time and space ninjutsu? When he saw Emperor Guy and the others with a shocked look on their faces, something like, to continue asking, Kakashi also said something. Guy, the art of Hiraishin, you should have heard of it. Of course I did. That's the stunt of 4th Hokage fame. At this point, Emperor Guy suddenly thought of something, and there was a deep shock on his face. Kakashi, you don't mean to tell me the Hiraishin art of the 4th Hokage that Tokiha mastered. As soon as King Guy said these words, Chiyo, Tenten, Little Lee and Neji all had expressions of astonishment on their faces. They have naturally heard the statement of open black lens bracket Namikaze Minato close black lens bracket, the reason why the latter is famous in the ninja world and is crowned with the title of open black lens bracket yellow flash close black lens bracket. It is precisely because of this Hiraishin's art. At this moment, the four guys are extremely excited, staring at Kakashi, waiting for the latter's answer. After seeing Kakashi nodding, they were stunned. The eyes that looked at Shiyu were full of incredulity. They never expected Shiyu to learn such ninjutsu. Open black lens bracket the art of Hiraishin close black lens bracket. Although it is not accessible to ordinary people, those who meet certain conditions can still try it. But unfortunately, after the death of 4th generation, no one can be master. In the past 10 years, Konoha has not appeared any top talents. Like Itachi, Shisui, and Kakashi have been cut off. Neji is the strongest among the new generation, apart from Tokiha, Naruto and Sasuke. But only at the level of Jonin. Although he has the blood stain limit of Byakugan, his strength is not too strong. But this does not mean that open black lens bracket Byakugan close black lens bracket is not strong, it is just declining. Open black lens bracket Byakugan close black lens bracket of the Hyuga clan is not pure, so it cannot be promoted to a higher form. At this moment, Chiyo finally knew that Kakashi had no worries along the way. It turned out that Shiyu was stronger than she believed. At this moment, the way she looked at Shiyu changed completely. She knew that Konoha had such a son, and this life is considered stable. Neji, Tenten and Xiaoli are still, after all, they have already seen Shiyu's terrifying talent and strength. Master Shiyu had a more powerful ninjutsu, they would still believe it. Seeing the appearance of Emperor Guy, asking the truth, Kakashi hurriedly reminded him. If you have any questions, wait until the matter is over before asking. The most important thing right now is how to break this barrier. Well, yes. Emperor Guy hurriedly nodded, almost forgetting his business because of Shiyu. Immediately after, everyone's eyes finally moved away from Shiyu's body, and then fell on the barrier in front of them. Chapter 222 _ I'm going to kill you. The sun hangs high above the water. Yu's 8 people stood straight and stood, and when Neji used Byakugan to see through everything in the cave, he was shocked. He told the crowd only one sentence, that is, no words to describe. Because of this, everyone is also full of curiosity about this cave blocked by boulders. Exactly what kind of open black lens bracket Akatsuki close black lens bracket are they doing inside? Seeing that the 8 people have gathered together and have found their destination, open black lens bracket park close black lens bracket said. Kakashi, I'll leave first. I won't be able to help you much later, so I won't cause you any trouble. Good work, Parker. Kakashi rode. Huang, goodbye. Naruto agreed. Hearing that, Parker was stunned for a while, but he was too lazy to say anything, as if he was used to being called by Shiyu and Naruto like that. Bang! With a slight sound, Parker also disappeared from everyone's sight. At this moment, Kakashi and the others couldn't wait to go in and have a look, but unfortunately, under the punch of Emperor Guy, the boulder blocking the entrance of the cave remained motionless. In this regard, everyone knew that a barrier was set up here. Kakashi, it seems that the only way to unlock this barrier is. Hearing Emperor Guy's words, Kakashi's eyes fell on the huge stone that blocked the entrance of the cave, and there was a big, forbidden, on it. Kakashi-sensei. If I guessed correctly, this should be the 5 Seals formation. Hearing this, Kakashi was also slightly startled. He didn't expect that Shiyu could see what kind of enchantment this was one step ahead of him. It should be. What is the 5 Seals barrier? Naruto wrote. Not only Naruto, but also Emperor Guy, Chiyo and Tenten are puzzled. Seeing this, Kakashi said, the 5 Seals barrier is a barrier formed by pasting 555 spells with the word forbidden on the surrounding 555 directions. So in addition to the one in front of you, there should be 444 places with the same forbidden spell. Only by removing them at the same time can the barrier be lifted. Hearing Kakashi's words, Naruto hurriedly asked, where are the other 4? Just ask Neji. Shiyu wrote. Neji. Seeing Naruto's doubts, Kakashi also said, Shiyu is right. Neji's Byakugan can pierce through things, and it's not difficult to find the other 4 spells. The middle of the conversation, Kakashi looked at Neji, and the latter nodded in the meaning of Kakashi in gray. Understood. Voice fell, and Neji opened Byakugan directly. After a while, Neji's voice sounded again. I see. The second one is in the northeast direction, on a rock about 500 meters away. The third one is in the south-southeast, on the trunk of a big tree on the bank 350 meters away. The fourth picture is in the northwest direction, on a rock wall 650 meters away. The fifth one is in the southwest direction, about 8 forests away. Hearing Neji's description, Emperor Guy said. Excellent. Voice fell, Emperor Guy took out 555 identical pendants from his backpack and said to Neji, Tenten and Little Lee. This kind of distance radio developed by the village will definitely allow us to communicate. The 4 of us each go to a location, use it to keep in touch, and follow Neji's instructions to find the exact location of the spell. Wavelength 174. See you later. Good. No problem. Seeing the 3 people responding, Gai Huang said, Gai class, use your youthful horsepower. Go. As Emperor Guy's voice fell, the 4 of them dispersed in one direction. After a while, King Guy, Little Lee and Tenten also successfully found the positions of the other 3 forbidden spells under Neji's instructions. Kakashi. We've already found the locations of the other 4 forbidden spells, so prepare them on your side. We'll uncover the spell together later. Good. Kakashi responded with a sound, and immediately jumped onto the boulder. Everyone. I count 3 2 2 1, let's uncover it together. Emperor Guy said something to everyone, then took a deep breath, and then said, 3 2 2 1. As Emperor Guy's voice fell, the 5 people simultaneously unveiled the forbidden spell. However, the moment the other 444 azimuths were uncovered, the exact same avatars appeared when the amulet was uncovered. This is what happened. Tenten wrote. It is estimated that it is the enemy's trap. King Guy responded, and then said, the barrier has been lifted, but it is to trigger another ninjutsu to stop the person who destroys the barrier. Let 4 people act alone in groups of 4, and set up ninjutsu in the enchantment. It can be said to be double insurance. It's really amazing. Neji muttered. Flowers 0 inches Kakashi. We have encountered a little trouble here, and we can't meet you for the time being. Hearing what Emperor Guy said, Kakashi also said, "Understood, be careful yourself." Immediately after, when Shiyu came to the boulder, he still used the method of chakra highly condensed in the palm of his hand, and he could exert extremely strong power. As his punch hit the boulder, an explosion sounded. Boom! There was no accident, the boulder blocking the entrance of the cave was directly shattered by Shiyu's punch. "See you." After Kakashi looked at each other, he rushed into the cave. However, when they came in, they found that there were two people waiting for them. They are none other than open black lens bracket Sasori close black lens bracket and open black lens bracket Deidara close black lens bracket. But here is another person besides them. It's just that the whole person is not the person of open black lens bracket Akatsuki close black lens bracket, and he is lying on the ground like a dead person at the moment. On the right side of the latter's forehead is a Zu Yuhi character, open black lens bracket I close black lens bracket. No doubt that he is Gaara. If nothing else, Nagato has completed the absorption of Aikyo and has retreated. Reason why open black lens bracket Sasori close black lens bracket and open black lens bracket Dorada close black lens bracket are left is to let them recycle open black lens bracket Kyubi, Nine Tails close black lens bracket. However, when they volunteered, open black lens bracket Itachi close black lens bracket reminded them to be careful of a boy named open black lens bracket Takagawa Tokiha close black lens bracket. Itachi, I don't want Nagato and others to doubt me, so I still reminded some simple information. As such, even if Sasori and Dorada died in battle, I can't blame others. Looking at Sasori and Dorada and Gaara lying on the ground, Kakashi murmured, "Is it late?" Chiyo's eyes fell on open black lens bracket Sasori close black lens bracket. She wanted to confirm whether the latter was her grandson. As for Naruto, it was everything in front of her eyes. Seeing Shiyu and the four of them, Dorada, who was sitting on the ground, also stood up slowly, and the lazy and arrogant voice sounded along with it. "By the way, which one is Kyubi, Nine Tails, Jinchuriki, Column Force?" Seeing Gaara lying motionless on the ground, Naruto, who is also a Jinchuriki, Column Force, was already very angry. At this moment, being so provoked by open black lens bracket Deidara close black lens bracket, it is even more temperamental. "You bastards, I'm going to kill you for." Chapter 223_Moment and Eternity. Two artists. Hearing Naruto's words, Sasori and Deidara were stunned. Immediately, both of them were sure of one thing. "Looks like it's him." Sasori's words, Deidara also nodded. Well, it's not wrong. What they have determined is Naruto's identity. Previously, when the two of them volunteered, they asked Itachi about the appearance of Naruto, but Itachi only said one sentence. The one who jumped out and yelled was Kyubi, Nine Tails, Jinchuriki, Column Force. Naruto shouted after a loud shout. "Gaara! Where are you sleeping there? Get up for me." "Hey Gaara, did you hear?" Naruto was a little excited between the words. This was not because of his stupidity, but because of his emotions. Because Chiyo told them one thing on the way, that is, once the tailed beast is deprived from the body of Jinchuriki Column Force, then Ren Jinchuriki Column Force will die. Obviously, Naruto doesn't want to believe this fact. Seeing Naruto's appearance, Kakashi also said, "Naruto, you should know Gaara very well." Kakashi didn't finish. He didn't want to spit out the last word. He didn't want to, but someone didn't have any scruples. "You're right. He's dead." As Deidara's words fell, Naruto's anger couldn't be restrained in an instant. Because of his anger, his pupils turned into Yuhi colors, and the pupils became upside down. However, that's not what Sharingan is. It's open black lens bracket fox eyes close black lens bracket. "You bastards. Give Gaara back to me." Naruto between the words charged directly at Sasori and Deidara, apparently dazed by anger. However, it was stopped by Kakashi. "Naruto, calm down. If you don't think about it, you might fall into the enemy's trap. Hearing this, Naruto also stopped. However, 2 unwilling words were spit out from his mouth. Damn. Seeing Naruto's state, Shiyu finally said, Naruto, don't worry. With me, Gaara can't die. When Shiyu said these words, everyone on the scene was shocked. Not only Naruto, Chiyo and Kakashi, but also Sasori and Dorada were stunned. Because they all know one thing, once the tailed beast in Jinchuriki column power is pulled away, there is absolutely no possibility of survival. Unless it is a means of exercising some taboos. However, these means are obviously extremely few. Otherwise, among the 5 of them, only Chiyo Master has such a taboo move, which is self-life reincarnation. Using all the chakra of oneself as a medium, to give life to others, and oneself will die. Just when everyone was shocked, Naruto asked. Shiyu, what you said is true. When did I lie to you? Hearing Shiyu's answer, Naruto was also determined in his heart. Because Shiyu always did what he said and never let him down. Now that the latter dares to say that he can save Gaara, there must be a way for him. He firmly believed in this. And Sasori and Deidara were slightly taken aback after hearing Naruto. At this moment, their eyes were locked on Shiyu. You are Toki Takagawa. Hearing Deidara's words, Shiyu was slightly taken aback, but then. In its view, it should be Itachi's reminder and advice to them. But unfortunately, these 2 are worshipping art fanatics. Oh, you know me. Seeing Shiyu's confession, the 2 of them suddenly froze again. They originally thought that since Itachi had given advice, the open black lens bracket Takagawa Tokiha close black lens bracket in the latter's mouth should be a great person. But what they never expected was that Takagawa Tokyu was just a teenager. Why they thought Itachi was too cautious. To think that Tokyu could save Gaara was just whimsical, or just words to appease Naruto. Big brother Sasori. Itachi said let me be careful of this kid, do you think it's necessary? Anyway, I lost interest in him. On the contrary, that QB 9 Tails Jinchuriki column force makes me look forward to it. So, big brother Sasori, leave that QB 9 Tails kid to me. Deidara. The request is 1 person per person, you don't have to make an inch. Sasori drank lightly, then said, I already gave you the last Aikyo, are you going to rob me this time? As an artist, if you don't seek stronger stimulation, your sense of things will become dull, big brother. I heard that open black lens bracket QB 9 Tails close black lens bracket is very powerful, but I don't know how his open black lens bracket Renjin Churiki column force close black lens bracket will give me stronger stimulation. As soon as Deidara's voice fell, Sasori immediately refuted. What do you say your explosion is also art? Art is a long and beautiful thing that can last forever. Only lasting beauty is art. Deidara was a little unhappy after hearing Sasori's point of view, and said again. Brother Sasori, you and I are also creating. I respect you so much. But the beauty of art is that it is fleeting. That is, the beauty of the moment is king. No, eternity is the root. Sasori retorted. Wrong, the moment is the truth. Deidara replied. Quote. At this moment, the 2 artists began to talk frantically, completely ignoring the existence of Shiyu and others. In this regard, Shiyu doesn't have any feelings. Because he still has some understanding of the characters of the 2, this is purely an artistic duo. It's not unreasonable for the 2 of them to be together. Shiyu can accept it, but it doesn't mean that Kakashi and others can adapt. Anyway, they are confused. Deidara, you are just trying to provoke me, right? I don't want to. Who told you to always deny my art? Deidara responded to Sasori and immediately said, I don't care. Anyway, the medical technique I think is explosion. It is the beauty of an instant. Completely different from the big brothers. Comedy doll. Hearing Deidara's words, Sasori was also a little angry. The art he thinks is denied, even if he is a companion, he will take action. Therefore, he controlled the open black lens bracket black tiger close black lens bracket to teach Deidara a lesson, but Deidara seemed to have already sensed the latter's motives. He jumped directly onto the white giant bird, made of his exploding clay. Looking at his familiar movements, it is obviously not the first time. Apparently, these two artists are often asked about, what is art? Was a quarrel, and it even reached the level of a big fight. Dodging Sasori's attack, Deidara controlled the giant bird into the air. Not only that, but he was taken away by Gaara. His idea is very simple, since Naruto cares about Gaara so much, as long as he takes Gaara away, Naruto will definitely chase him away. In this way, he will be able to fight Naruto, a QB 9 Tails person Jinchuriki column force. Goodbye, Sasori-san. As Deidara's voice fell, he directly let the giant bird swallow Gaara's belly, and then left. Seeing this, Naruto looked excited. Shiyu, what should I do now? Didn't that Birdman want to see the power of your QB 9 Tails Jinchuriki column force? Then let him see it. You mean? Naruto said hesitantly. Seeing Shiyu nodding, Naruto was also overjoyed. Apparently, Shiyu agreed with him to use the power of open black lens bracket QB 9 Tails close black lens bracket. 0. He has used this power 6 times. The first is in open black lens bracket Chunin exam close black lens bracket, and the second is against open black lens bracket Otogakure 5-5 close black lens bracket. The third time was duel with Sasuke in Valley of the End. As for the last 3 times, it was performed during training with Jiraiya. So, Naruto still has 6 chances now. But in Shiyu's opinion, Naruto can use these opportunities if he wants to. Because it won't be long before he will teach Naruto to control the power of open black lens bracket QB 9 Tails close black lens bracket, thus master open black lens bracket QB 9 Tails mode close black lens bracket. But if you want to master 9 Tails mode, it will take a lot of work. Because it needs to be approved by QB 9 Tails, and it can only be done if you have the same mind. Kakashi-sensei. You and Naruto go after that Birdman, and leave it to me and Granny Chiyo. Good. Kakashi nodded, and immediately rushed out of the cave with Naruto. At the same time, Tokiyu's eyes also fell on open black lens bracket Sasori close black lens bracket. There is a reason why he wants to fight open black lens bracket Sasori close black lens bracket. That is the first task of the system. Chapter 224 Puppet Technique. Crimson Tiger. System Quest. Kill open black lens bracket Sasori of the red sand close black lens bracket. Of course, besides the system quest, Shiyu has another reason for wanting to stay. That's the 444 scrolls behind open black lens bracket Sasori close black lens bracket. In the manga Sasori only uses 2 scrolls. The first one is open black lens bracket Kaden, fire style, scroll flaming prison array close black lens bracket. The second one is red secret techniques. The other 2 have not been released yet, but in the animation, the third scroll, Sweden, water style, scroll eclipse, is revealed. But the 4th scroll has not been made public for a long time. Anyway, this hole has not been filled. According to the content released by the official game, the 4th scroll is also open black lens bracket puppet close black lens bracket, which is Sanin's former friend open black lens bracket Hirako who close black lens bracket. This person appeared in the Hokage theatrical version, Inheritor of the Will of Fire. But the problem is that it's time that Naruto has learned Rasen Shuriken, so this setting is not reasonable. Secondly, some netizens speculate that the last scroll is the method of Sasori making puppets and maintenance manual. However, Shiyu believes that this last scroll should be a defense method or means of escape. After all, Sasori himself once said that this is his ultimate puppet technique when he used red secret techniques. He once conquered a country with this ninjutsu. Chiyo looked at the open black lens bracket 16 Sasori of the red sand close black lens bracket in front of him, and his heart was filled with emotion. She never imagined that one day she would have to fight with her grandson. Chiyo, leave it to me. Needless to say, Chiyo was clearly thinking about himself. Because Sasori is not only their ninja in Sunagakur village but also her grandson. Mother Chiyo, are you sure? Chiyo asked. Although I have old bones, I still have some ability. Chiyo responded and immediately said, I also want to see how far my grandson has grown. That's fine. If you want to help, just squeak. Since Chiyo said so, Chiyo was embarrassed to refuse. Anyway, the mission of the system is to kill open black lens bracket Sasori of the red sand close black lens bracket, and there is no requirement to kill him. He is now in a team with Chiyo, and he obviously has a share in the latter's killing. This situation was already confirmed by Chiyo when he killed Peachland no more for the first time. Be a melon eater and appreciate the battle between the two most powerful puppet masters in the ninja world today. But the problem is, Chiyo probably can't kill Sasori. Because the puppet master has surpassed her now. Okay. Chiyo nodded, and then there was no unnecessary nonsense. Robe sleeves, dozens of kunai appeared out of nowhere and shot at Sasori. Shoo, 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 dang, 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 but it was blocked by Sasori's Hiryu tiger, which is one of the human puppets made by Sasori. A human puppet made by a ninja killed by Sasori. Sasori hides in this puppet most of the time, which makes up for the weakness of the puppet ninja's weak melee combat. It can be described as both offense and defense. Fei Liuhu, there are many poisonous needles in the head and mouth, the left hand is a double organ device, and the back is a grimace, which is very strong. Sasori-like tail made of iron can be extended from the mouth of the ghost face, which can be extended, and the tail is highly poisonous, and it will be poisoned if it is scratched lightly. This is the poison in Konkuro. After blocking Chiyo's kunai, Sasori said. Grandma Chiyo. Since you choose to be my enemy, then you and that kid will become my collection together. Voice fell, and Sasori came directly with a burst of clothes. Revealing the true face of Hiryu tiger, and explaining it, seems to make Chiyo feel fear. First remove the guts, then peel off the skin to wash off the blood. Through the embalming. After that, after installing various mechanisms, a puppet collection is completed. The Fei Liuhu you saw in front of you is one of my collections. If you count the two of you, I'll have 300 pieces. This is my art. Chiyo was also slightly startled when he looked at the open black lens bracket black tiger close black lens bracket in front of him. Because the Hiryu tiger in front of him is different from the puppets he had seen made by Sasori before, it was obviously upgraded. Puppet master, they all control the puppets behind their backs, but right now they are not afraid of Sasori's body. So, Chiyo's dismantling open black lens bracket Sasori close black lens bracket is hidden in this open black lens bracket black tiger close black lens bracket. This is why she guessed that open black lens bracket Sasori close black lens bracket open black lens bracket puppet technique close black lens bracket has been improved to a higher level. And just when Chiyo was thinking, Chiyu's voice sounded slowly. Mother Chiyo. It seems that in order to defeat him Sasori, we must first pull him out of this puppet. Chiyo and Sasori were both startled when they heard Chiyu's words. Especially Sasori. Chiyo wasn't surprised when it came out of Chiyo's mouth. Because Chiyo is a puppet master of a generation, even his earlier puppet technique is taught by the former. Chiyo was just a teenager. And, it's Konoha's genin. As far as he knows, no one in Konoha knows the Akatsuki puppet technique, how the latter can see his hiding place at a glance. Because of this, an idea could not help but arise in his mind. This kid really understands puppet technique. Still stupid. Just when Sasori was puzzled, Chiyo also asked curiously, Chiyo, do you also have research on puppets? Slightly involved. Chiyo responded with a sound, and then said, "Puppet masters are not good at melee combat, and it is easy to reveal flaws in manipulating puppets. The design of this Fei Liuhu is obviously to overcome this." "You're right." Chiyo nodded and echoed, "This puppet of him can be used as both armor and a weapon. This is one of Sasori's favorite puppets. Originally, I thought I should have no problem dealing with him alone, but now it seems that it is a bit tricky," Tokyo said after hearing Kai 040's words. "Mother Chiyo, speak up whenever you need my help. Or, we can join forces now. My current destructive power is really limited to destroy Sasori's Hiryu Tiger. So you have to use your strange power." Previously, Chiyo saw Shiyu punch open the boulder blocking the entrance of the cave, and that amazing destructive power is rare in the world. She thinks that Tokyo has inherited Tsunade's strange power. She thinks that if you want to destroy Hiryu Tiger, you have to rely on Tokyo's strange power. "Mother Chiyo, you mean you want me to help you break your puppet, right?" Chiyo nodded, and then said, "However, you must be careful. During this period, you must avoid his attacks, because the puppets of Sasori are all coated with poison. Even a scratch can be fatal. And to avoid the puppet's attack, you must understand the knowledge of the puppet's organs, and you must also have the ability to make judgments in an instant. But thankfully, you seem to have both." Having said that, Grandma Chiyo had to admire Shiyu's Hiryu art at a young age, but he also had a certain understanding of puppets, which is really rare. However, if Chiyo knows that Shiyu's puppet technique is better than her and Sasori's, it is estimated that you will be shocked. Chapter 225-Puppet Skill Katakana Middle. Senju Martial Arts. Sasori said impatiently after hearing the conversation between Tokiha and Chiyo. "Hurry up if you want to fight. Take care of you, I have to deal with that. QB 9 Tails Jinchuriki Column Force." Hearing Sasori's words, Shiyu knew that the latter was not only an artist, but also a complete pretender. "Don't worry, I've settled your life today." Shiyu's figure disappeared under the stunned eyes of Sasori and Chiyo. When he reappeared, he was already behind Sasori. Seeing this, the same two words were spit out from the mouths of the two. "So fast." As their voices fell, another voice followed. However, this time it was not a human voice. It was a shattering explosion. Boom! No accident, Sasori's black Ryahu was directly smashed by Shiyu's punch. Not only that, but even the ground was deeply sunk into a big hole. That kind of strength was extremely terrifying. It was terrifying for people to see. Then a black figure grabbed a gap and jumped out of it. Looking at the figure in the black robe, Shiyu and Chiyo knew that this was undoubtedly Sasori's body. But Sasori in the black robe at this time is undoubtedly shocked. Because he didn't even respond to Shiyu just now. If it wasn't for the puppet of black flowing tiger, as a defense, I'm afraid his body at this moment is about to be hit hard. Even if his body is a puppet, once the parts are damaged, his strength will be greatly reduced. If open black lens bracket regeneration core close black lens bracket was hit in the heart, it would be fatal. Chiyo also exclaimed when he looked at Tokyo, who was standing in the shattered place of open black lens bracket crimson tiger close black lens bracket. Is this the art of Hiryu? Hearing Chiyo's words, Sasori finally calmed down, because he finally couldn't understand why he couldn't react. First, it was because he underestimated the enemy. Second, it was because of this powerful time and space ninjutsu. Indeed, it was not that he underestimated Shiyu too much. At least he was able to use the Sasori tail for defense just now, although the result is not expected to change much, but at least it won't be as embarrassing as it is now. Because if his body was not withdrawn in time just now, under that strange force, damage is inevitable. However, they all misunderstood. Shiyu didn't use any Hiryu just now. It's just pure speed. After mastering the thunder body, Tokyo combined it with the blinking technique to create a brand new ninjutsu. Called Thunderbolt technique. It's simple, thunderbolt. As the name suggests, its speed is as fast as thunder to ultimate. In short distance displacement, its speed can be compared with the teleportation of Hiraishin's art. At this moment, Sasori seemed to understand Itachi's reminder. Tokiha was able to master the technique of Hiraishin at a young age, which was enough to show his extraordinariness. It was also because of this that a strong interest arose in my heart. That is to make Shiyu one of his own products. I just said it casually before, it was optional, but now he has to. This hand open black lens bracket Hiraishin close black lens bracket has been deeply shaken. The puppet master was originally lacking in means of escape. If he could use open black lens bracket human puppet close black lens bracket, it would undoubtedly have more means to save his life. Although Sasori is very conceited, he is not stupid. He is not stupid enough to be invincible, and there is no weak person within Akatsuki alone. Whole set of anger, he has no absolute chance of winning. Especially Itachi and Pain. Although they didn't do it, the aura of the two was there. 1. Sharingan. 1. Rinnegan. Little devil, you gave me the desire to fight you guys. Sasori, who was talking, also pulled down his one-piece cap, revealing that delicate face. With yuhi-colored hair and a youthful face, it is impossible to see that Sasori in front of him will be a middle-aged uncle of 5. Seeing Sasori's true face, Tokiyu is not surprised at all. But Chiyo is dumbfounded. What's going on? Why does he look exactly the same as when he left the village before? More than 10 years have passed, and he has not changed at all. Just as Chiyo was confused, a scroll appeared in Sasori's hand. In the center of the dense runes is a striking big character, 3. Let you see my treasure. It took me a lot of work to kill him, so he is also my favorite collection, no one. Voice fell, and Sasori himself used the space scroll to channel a puppet hidden inside. Seeing the puppet standing in front of Sasori, Chiyo's face was sluggish. Not for anything else, but because she actually knew this puppet. Besides, he was still an amazing existence. This person is the strongest one in their open black lens bracket Sunagakur village close black lens bracket in the past open black lens bracket Cage close black lens bracket, open black lens bracket 3 generations of Cage close black lens bracket. At this moment, Chiyo was a little bit inarticulate. That is the 3rd generation of Cage. Hee hee. Sasori laughed, and then said, it looks like Grandma Chiyo, you haven't reached the point where you are old and confused. Sasori, you bastard. HMPH, you old woman who lived in seclusion and waited to die, and you went so far as to go to the wilderness of this other country, what's the point of that? Even if I live in seclusion and wait to die, I'll insist on coming to see you. Chiyo responded and continued. Besides, I still have a lot of things on my mind, how can I close my eyes? My grandson. It doesn't matter if you are in the company of the wicked, but I never thought you would betray the village. And, 3 times. And these 3 times were all killing Cage. Hearing Chiyo's words, Sasori disagreed with her. Hello, old lady. In addition to this time, there are clearly only 2 times. Although the culprit of the 4th Cage who killed Gaara's father was Orochimaru, it must have been your instigation. Chiyo asked. Old woman, it was not me who encouraged Orochimaru to kill 4th Cage but his subordinates. However, come back. We did a lot of things together when Orochimaru was at Akatsuki. At this point, Sasori didn't want to continue chatting, so he turned the conversation. Stop talking nonsense, let's start. Voice fell, Sasori directly controlled the open black lens bracket 3 seals close black lens bracket to attack Tokiyu who was heading towards. Several large knives appearing from the arms of Ali's 3 Cage puppets, it was obviously a hidden mechanism. Shiyu, be careful. Chiyo, who was talking, used the chakra thread to manipulate the tail of the previously shattered Hiryu tiger but it was in front of Shiyu. Clang. A crisp metal symphony sound followed, and then the iron tail of the black flowing tiger was directly cut off. However, it still helped Shiyu block a blow. Although Shiyu didn't need Chiyo to save him at all, he still received a towel from Chiyo's kindness. Seeing this, Sasori also praised Grandma Chiyo. Yes. However, now I'm going to get real. Open black lens bracket puppet skill Senju exercises martial arts close black lens bracket. Between the words, Sasori used the other arm of Sandai Cage controlled by a chakra string, and summoned 1,000 arms with the spell set on Sandain Cage's left arm. At this moment, thousands of arms rushed towards Shiyu like poisonous snakes. There are 3 things to do when reading. Chapter 226 The Showdown of Jiden Magnet Style. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Thousands of arms rushed towards Shiyu like poisonous snakes, but this is not the most terrifying part of Senju Kawu. The most terrifying thing is that every arm is full of poisonous smoke. Once if you get on it, you will be killed or injured. Sasori knows that Tokiha is extremely fast, and it is very likely that the master has the legendary Hiraishin art. So he closed all around with thousands of arms, limiting the range of movement. Because this is inside the cave, the range of movement is limited. If it is outside, this method will definitely not work. But in this regard, Shiyu did not panic in the slightest, and directly used Bingyantangwu to completely wrap himself in ice crystals. Next second, everyone's trap arms all fell on the ice surface. Boom, boom, boom. If it's white Bingyantangwu, it can block 100 arms, but it can't block 1,000. Bai is not as strong as Shiyu, and Chakra is not as strong as Shiyu. Facing Sasori, this open black lens bracket Senju martial arts close black lens bracket has only a chance of defeat. It is also because this open black lens bracket Hingyantangwu close black lens bracket is a completely closed hollow hockey puck. Therefore, the poisonous smoke released from the arm could not penetrate into it, so it would not cause any damage to Shiyu. Seeing this scene, Sasori and Chiyo were shocked again. This is Ice Shield. 2 of them obviously didn't expect that Shiyu actually had the ability of Blood Stain Boundary. In addition to being shocked, Sasori at this time has 040 surprises. Because in his hands, apart from the Jiden Magnet style, in this 3 generations of Cage, there is no second puppet with blood stain. It is also because of the Jiden Magnet style possession of 3 Cage that makes him the strongest single puppet in Sasori's hands. Now that Shiyu has an ice shield, can he be unhappier if he can make a human puppet under his design and manipulation? He should be able to surpass this 3 generations of Cage. Little devil, you really excite me more and more. I seem to have to thank that guy Deidara now. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't have discovered such an art material as you. At this time, Sasori became more and more excited, and the offensive also became more and more crazy. Puppet skill Kuyulu 1000 books. As Sasori snorted in his heart, the second arm of the organ released countless kunai. These kunai were all poisoned attacks. Open black lens bracket poison close black lens bracket is one of the basic abilities of the puppet master. Because open black lens bracket poison close black lens bracket can make a puppet master stronger, it can easily bring down the enemy in battle. The arm is not as sharp as kuna, something the arm cannot smash, and the kuna may be able to pierce through. However, dang, thousands of kunai were directly blocked by the 2 figures that appeared in front of Shiyu. Although these 2 figures look like people, they are puppets. 1 male and 1 female, the male appearance is quite similar to Sasori. Moreover, it's all Yuhi's hair. If nothing else, the 2 puppets should be Sasori's father and they should be summoned, but at this time, there are 2 more open scrolls in her hand. Seeing this, Sasori's expression also froze. Know this. Hearing this, Chiyo took Sasori's words and said, however, this is your earliest puppet. Your father and mother. Grandma Chiyo, what's the use of taking out the outdated things here now? I made them, and I know them like the back of my hand. Sasori, who had finished speaking, once again controlled countless mechanical arms to attack Tokyo and the others. Not necessarily. Interdiscourse. Chiyo used Sasori's parents' puppet to manipulate the steel wire, and it turned out that nearly 1,000 arms were cut off. Boom, boom, countless arms continued to fall from the sky, causing the smoke and dust on the ground to rise. And Chiyo's turbid old eyes were also staring at Sasori, and a hoarse voice came out of his mouth. You're not the only one who can transform puppets. But I neglected. Words fell, and Sasori controlled the 3 generations of Kazekage to attack Chiyo. Yes, this time he changed the target. He knew that if he wanted to defeat the 2 of them, he wanted to defeat his grandma. Touch. Dang. Dang. Boom. However, after Chiyo summoned Sasori's parents' puppets to fight, the situation changed. It was stuck in a stalemate. Seeing this scene, Sasori knew that it would be difficult to win Chiyo with the puppet's mechanism alone. This point, he knows. Although the latter is old, but the puppet technique is more and more exquisite. Although he was able to hold on to the victory by dragging it on, it was obviously not the result he wanted to consume too much time. Looks like it's getting a little tricky. Sasori muttered to himself, and then said, it's the only way to use this trick now. Immediately after. Under Sasori's control, the mouth of open black lens bracket 3 generations of Kazekage close black lens bracket slowly opened, and then strands of black sand were sprayed out from it. That's sand iron. It's the method of 3 Kazekage blood stain. Seeing this scene, Chiyo's expression suddenly froze. Because she knows that this is the ability of a human puppet that only Sasori can create, and it can use all the abilities of the deceased, including blood stain limit. This is the biggest advantage of human puppet. Chiyu. Be careful, the attack now is no better than just now. Chiyu didn't pay any attention to Chiyo's reminder, and there wasn't the slightest worry on his face. Because of this open black lens bracket Jiden, magnet style, close black lens bracket he will too. Just as Chiyo looks extremely solemn, Sasori has already controlled open black lens bracket 3 generations of Kazekage close black lens bracket to perform ninjutsu. Open black lens bracket Jiden, magnet style, iron sand rain close black lens bracket. As Sasori shouted, iron sand appeared in the sky like waves, and then the iron sand formed countless fine needles and shot at Tokyo and Chiyo at high speed. This ninjutsu has a large attack range and a long duration. Not only is it very difficult to dodge, but it is also extremely lethal. In Sasori's view, it is almost impossible for Chiyo and Tokyo to dodge this move head-on. After all, the cave is so small. Unless Chiyo used the Haraishin technique to take Chiyo away. And this is what Sasori is most worried about. If Chiyo Shentao escapes, he probably won't be able to stop it. However, whether Chiyo has Master Haraishin's art has not been confirmed by him. Therefore, he must take the 2 of them when they want to escape. This is also the reason why he has been attacking with poison before. Once Chiyo and the others are poisoned, they will be paralyzed and unable to move. Even if Tokyo really masters the Haraishin art, he won't be able to use it at that time. Shoo, 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 shoo. Watching the iron sand in the sky shooting towards the 2 of them, Chiyo used 2 puppets to create a chakra shield, and wanted to use it to resist. But in the next second, a strange scene appeared. I saw that the sand iron that was about to fall on the chakra shield she made stopped strangely in the air, unable to make an inch. At the same time, a low voice sounded slowly. Open black lens bracket Jiden, magnet style, latte close black lens bracket. Chapter 227 _ Sand Wings. Iron Sand World Method. Open black lens bracket Jiden, magnet style, latte close black lens bracket. Hearing this voice, Chiyo and Sasori's expressions suddenly froze. Next second, their eyes instantly fell on Chiyo, because the owner of this voice was Chiyo. At this moment, their eyes were full of astonishment. Not for others, just because of the word open black lens bracket jitten, magnet style close black lens bracket. If in the rain of iron sand. If they hadn't stopped following Shiyu's voice, they would definitely not have believed this fact. But now that the facts are in front of them, they have to believe it. In addition to Ice Shield, Shiyu has mastered other Bloodstain Boundary. One kind of Bloodstain limit is already available but not sought after. 2. It can be said that it is astonishing. In today's ninja world, the only person who knows Akatsuki is the one in the current Kurigakure village. Open black lens bracket 5 generations of Mizukage Terumi may close black lens bracket. As for whether there are other masters who have two kinds of open black lens bracket bloodstain limit close black lens bracket, it is unknown. Little devil, I didn't expect you to have two kinds of blood stain limits. Sasori exclaimed, yearning for Tokiyu's body more and more. He felt that if he could get Shiyu's body, his strength would definitely be able to reach a new level. Because he has determined one thing now. Shiyu puppet is definitely stronger than 3 cage puppets, there is no doubt about that. Konoha Genin open black lens bracket jitten, magnet style close black lens bracket. Chiyo muttered, and then suddenly thought of something. Shiyu, are you the one who showed open black lens bracket jitten, magnet style close black lens bracket in open black lens bracket Konoha close black lens bracket more than 2 years ago in open black lens bracket Shunin exam close black lens bracket? Genin. Oh, Granny Chiyo heard about me. Hearing Shiyu's surprise, Chiyo also said, I heard something. After all, this jitten magnet style has been appearing in our Sunagakure village for hundreds of years. Even if I live in seclusion, I'm a little curious about it, so I just listen to it. To know that their open black lens bracket Sunagakure village close black lens bracket open black lens bracket 3 cage close black lens bracket and open black lens bracket 4th cage close black lens bracket are able to comprehend open black lens bracket jitten, magnet style close black lens bracket, it is because of open black lens bracket Shukaku close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Shukaku close black lens bracket is the only tailed beast with open black lens bracket jitten, magnet style close black lens bracket master. Open black lens bracket 3rd generation cage close black lens bracket and open black lens bracket 4th generation cage close black lens bracket understand the mystery of open black lens bracket jitten, magnet style close black lens bracket in the battle against open black lens bracket Shukaku close black lens bracket. So this one blood stain limit has almost become their exclusive Sunagakure village. For hundreds of years, I have never heard of jitten magnet style ninjas appearing in other countries and ninja villages. Also therefore, was only when Shiyu showed jitten magnet style that it caused such a sensation, which made Sunagakure dumbfounded. It's just that I didn't expect that your master's blood stain limit is more than one jitten magnet style. Is this thing difficult, master? Shiyu said lightly. Difficult. Very difficult. If it weren't for the innate blood inheritance, if you want to understand it through your own talent, it can be said to be as difficult as going to the sky. Even in a lifetime, it's hard to comprehend one. Chiyo sighed and continued. Also, the blood stain limit that can be understood can only be ninjutsu type and demonic illusion type. As for physical type and population, it depends on chance, that kind of unusual chance. This is why the blood stain is so rare in the ninja world. Chiyo's voice just fell, and Sasori's voice followed. Grandma Chiyo, there is no need to chat now. Sasori said something to Chiyo, and then the conversation came back to Shiyu. Little devil, let me see whether your open black lens bracket jitten, magnet style, close black lens bracket is stronger or my puppet's open black lens bracket jitten, magnet style, close black lens bracket is stronger. Open black lens bracket jitten, magnet style, sand iron wings close black lens bracket. As Sasori's shout fell, a pair of wings made of sand and iron appeared behind the open black lens bracket 3 generations of cage close black lens bracket. Immediately after, sand and iron wings flapped, and countless sand and iron were shot towards Tokiyu and Chiyo. This attack is no different from the previous open black lens bracket sand and iron rain close black lens bracket. However, the lethality of the latter is much higher than that of the former. Because sand iron feather has to be transformed into sand iron rain by iron sand particles, it is more penetrating. Moreover, this trick is also given a feature, that is, tracking attack. Once you have iron products on your body, you will be locked. But Sasori knows that Master Tokiha has open black lens bracket Jiden, magnet style, close black lens bracket and can also control sand iron. Why do you want to do this? Jiden, magnet style, close black lens bracket. Is there a match between Shiyu and Tokiyu? However, even if Sasori has some calculations, it is impossible to hurt Tokiyu. Sure enough, the sand iron feather that shot towards Shiyu from all directions was once again controlled by Shiyu. Seeing this scene, Sasori looked like he was in the master. I saw the chakra string in his hand waving again, and the ninjutsu that had been prepared for a long time was also triggered. Open black lens bracket Jiden, magnet style, iron sand world method close black lens bracket. Use those open black lens bracket sand iron feather close black lens bracket which were held in midair by Shiyu to extend it and become a long thorn enchantment for interweaving piercing attack. It is open black lens bracket 3 generations of Cage close black lens bracket master, S strongest Jiden, magnet style, ninjutsu. In this regard, Shiyu himself performed the Jiden, magnet style, iron prison technique. Put himself in a hollow iron ball. Among them, it is the same as the usage of open black lens bracket water prison technique close black lens bracket. But the difference is that this technique has a strong defensive ability. Flower 0 feet's defensive power is even better than Neji's revolving heaven, and Gaara's absolute defense sand shield. Also open black lens bracket Jiden, magnet style, close black lens bracket, open black lens bracket 3rd Cage close black lens bracket and open black lens bracket Shiyu close black lens bracket. Various ninjutsu techniques are one attack and one defense. See who is stronger. In fact, Shiyu can use Kamui, Thunder Flash, and Thunder Body to evade and resist head-on. But since Sasori said to fight open black lens bracket Jiden, magnet style, close black lens bracket, then he naturally wants to beat the latter with open black lens bracket Jiden, magnet style, close black lens bracket. Otherwise, doesn't it mean that his open black lens bracket Jiden, magnet style, close black lens bracket is weaker than the open black lens bracket 3 Cage close black lens bracket controlled by Sasori? That would be very shameless. Although Shiyu is fine, but in order to block this move, the puppet of father and mother has been pierced through. Moreover, she was also scratched. There is no way, this iron sand world method is too densely interwoven. Even though Chiyo used 2-2 to resist, there are still gaps to be found. 0 however, it's just a scratch on the small surface. But Shiyu is not worried about this, but that the sand iron is likely to be infected by Sasori's poison. Once hit, even if it's just a scratch, it's fatal. Mother Chiyo, are you alright? Chiyo, who heard the words, instantly felt the condition of his body, and his actions began to show signs of slowness. This sand iron is indeed soaked in poison. Seeing this, Sasori chuckled lightly. The poison has struck. Grandma Chiyo, this is just the beginning, and soon you will be paralyzed and unable to move. If you get this poison, if I don't kill you, you will only have 3 days to live. Not necessarily. Shiyu responded and said to Sasori, thank you for being so smart. Why are you so confused now? What do you mean? What do you mean? Shiyu smiled lightly and continued. Previously, there was a large amount of poisonous mist hidden in your 1,000 arms. When the dense poisonous mist is exposed to the air, it will spread over the entire cave over time. In such a cave with little air circulation, over time, you will inhale a little bit more or less. Presumably, this is also within the scope of your consideration. But didn't you notice that we have no signs of poisoning at all now? As soon as Shiyu said this, Sasori was stunned for a moment. He didn't understand this before, and thought it was his attack that caused the poison to disperse too quickly. Dose is not enough, and it is not enough to attack. Now Jing Shiyu reminds you, as smart as him, and suddenly thinks that there must be something tricky in it. See. Chapter 228 inches. The clear sky hammer, smashed the secret of longevity. Between Sasori's doubts, Tokiyu also came to Chiyo's side. Mother Chiyo, it's time for your antidote. You use mine. While talking, Shiyu took out a green needle from his small bag, which contained the potion to restrain Sasori's poison. This was made by Tokiha before departure from open black lens bracket Sunagakur village close black lens bracket. Just in case. The powerful medical ninjutsu elementary sage body, he is not afraid of toxins at all. But Kakashi, Chiyo and others are the same. If they were poisoned in battle, he obviously couldn't treat them right away. However, due to the location of Sunagakur village, the number of medicinal herbs is limited, and the antidote produced is only 2 bottles. Previously Toki and Chiyo stayed to deal with Sasori, so Toki gave Chiyo a bottle in advance. But now the effect has passed. I can hear Shiyu's 040. Then, looking at the bottle of green injection in Shiyu's hand, Chiyo was dumbfounded. You were useless. This toxin can't hurt me yet. Shiyu's answer made Chiyo's face full of shock. She didn't expect Shiyu to be able to ignore such a strong toxin. Expected of Tsunade's most proud disciple. After injecting Chiyo with the antidote, Shiyu was also ready to help Chiyo up. But at this moment, Chiyo screamed in pain. My left foot. Hearing this, Shiyu's eyes followed. Found that Chiyo's left foot, which was covered by stones, was actually pierced by sand iron, and a blood was constantly flowing out of it. Seeing this, Shiyu himself directly pulled out the sand iron from Chiyo's left foot. No unnecessary nonsense. Using medical ninjutsu, I don't know how to stop the blood in an instant. Moreover, the ability to move can be restored. Okay. With the sound of Shiyu's voice, Chiyo was able to recover from shock. Because she couldn't feel any pain, that is to say, Shiyu healed her injuries in just a few seconds. Although this is not a fatal injury, but it can be cured and returned to normal in a few seconds, which is simply amazing. Didn't expect that Tsunade's medical ninjutsu is stronger than I thought. The reason why Chiyo thinks so is because she knows that Tokiyu is Tsunade's apprentice. But in fact, she thinks too much. Because even if she is changed to Tsunade, she may be able to do it, but it is absolutely impossible to be as fast as Tokiyu. Sasori in the distance could not help standing up after seeing Chiyo being poisoned by himself, and couldn't help but wonder. Could it be that the little devil injected her just now with antidote? How on earth did he do it? Could it be that they can survive until now in this poisonous fog environment, relying on that antidote? Only this answer can explain everything. But because of this, he was extremely shocked. Because of the complicated production process of this antidote, it is impossible for ordinary medical ninjas to make antidote. And even if you know the process, making a solution is a difficult task. Because this antidote is not only rare in medicinal materials, but also in many quantities, each with a different dose, even if there is a slight error, the real antidote cannot be formulated. Even Sasori himself refers to the preparation ratio table for operation. As soon as he thought about it, he couldn't help but mutter, this kid is a medical ninja, could it be that he is the disciple of that woman? The woman Sasori was referring to was none other than Tsunade. Because as far as he knew, she was the only one in the world who could do that. It can be seen that Tsunade's reputation in the world of ninja __. It should be known that when Tsunade obtained the title of Sanin, he had not yet created the 100 Heroes technique. After some thought, Sasori's voice also sounded slowly. Little devil, I didn't expect you to be a medical ninja. There's so much more that you don't know. Shiyu responded and immediately said, Didn't you just want to know our fear, Jident magnet style, who is stronger? Now, I'll tell you. Voice fell, Shiyu hesitated at all. The huge chakra was used to gather all the sand and iron in the cave. But this is far from enough, even the metal particles under the surface are constantly breaking out due to strong magnetic force. A small particle can't see any effect, but a large piece is a terrifying picture. Next second. To Chiyo and Sasori's astonishment, a colorful Madara hammer appeared in their pupils. Open black lens bracket Jiden, magnet style, clear sky hammer close black lens bracket. With a low voice from Shiyu's mouth, the colorful Madara land's clear sky hammer smashed directly at Sasori. At this moment, Shiyu began to switch from defense to attack. Seeing this, Sasori immediately recovered his senses, and then displayed the Jident magnet style, sand iron Yiro, which was a continuously rotating, triangular pyramid, sand iron. Sasori obviously, he wanted to break through Shiyu's clear sky hammer with a single point. Next second. The triangular pyramid and the clear sky hammer collided with everything in the eyes of Shiyu and the others, but the triangular pyramid of only sand and iron was actually not as strong as Shiyu's colorful Madara clear sky hammer. Because Shiyu's clear sky hammer is not just sand iron, but also contains all kinds of metals. The reason why it is colorful Madara. Kang, ZZ. The next second when the two metals collide, the triangular pyramid is crushed by the clear sky hammer in a way that destroys the dead. Under Shiyu's control, he directly engulfed the triangular pyramid and merged it into the colorful Madara land's clear sky hammer. Also therefore, the power of the clear sky hammer did not decrease but increased, falling towards Sasori on the ground. The mighty power seemed to pierce the air, bringing with it the slightest sound. Kai, the puppet of the 3 generations of Kazekage couldn't handle this distance at all, and it collapsed on the spot. And just at this critical moment, Sasori ripped off his black Yuhi cloud robe. Dang, Z fell with the clear sky hammer, and the sound was not a huge rumbling sound, but a metal interweaving sound. However, because of the strong fall of the clear sky hammer, the smoke and dust on the ground instantly swept away, flying all over the sky. People can't see the reality for a while. A few seconds later. But after the O4 dust was completely dissipated, Shiyu and Chiyo also saw the situation inside. Clear sky hammer, it landed steadily on the ground, but it seemed that there was no loud noise due to the obstruction of the hand. If nothing else, the reason for this was a figure standing on the clear sky hammer at the moment. He is none other than Sasori of the Red Sand. Looking at Sasori at this time, Chiyo finally understands why Sasori left the village for nearly 10 years and his appearance has not changed. It turned out that the latter transformed himself into a puppet. Undoubtedly, this is his secret of longevity. Just now, he blocked Shiyu's clear sky hammer with his puppet-looking body, which is enough to see the extraordinariness of this puppet. At the same time, Sasori's voice sounded slowly. How many years? I didn't expect to be forced to use my own body today. Chapter 229-Kinsong 10 People vs 100 Machines Exercise. Because of Shiyu's astonishing blow, the entire cave collapsed. Became an open-air underground plaza. Fighting with my own body, this is the first time since I joined Akatsuki, but now I give you this kid. However, I admit that you have this qualification. Then, it's up to me to strike first. Sasori started the attack without any unnecessary nonsense after a long talk. Sasori directly used the first scroll. I saw his hands stretched out, and then the 2 muzzles stretched out of his palms strangely, and 2 flames were sprayed out. PFF'd. The temperature of this flame is so high that even sand and iron can melt. No doubt that it is open black lens bracket Kaden, fire style, flame prison array close black lens bracket. Sasori's body, in human puppet state, uses the open black lens bracket Kaden, fire style close black lens bracket reel to eject flames with powerful melting power and temperature from the palm pipe. With the chakra produced by regeneration core, you can control the size of the fire Jinchuriki column as you like, and the maximum firepower can turn steel and rocks into molten water in an instant. Seeing the iron gun made by the Iron Sand World method, the iron mesh was melted, Chiyo said quickly. Shiyu, be careful. I will never lose any ninjutsu. When Shiyu's voice fell, he directly cast Kaden, Fire Style, Majestic Destroyer Flame, Great Fire Annihilation. PFF'd. After Shiyu released this move, there was still a mess of chaos behind Shiyu, then the front became a sea of fire. Sasori's open black lens bracket Fire Style close black lens bracket is not enough to see in Shiyu's eyes. It's not that open black lens bracket Kaden, Fire Style close black lens bracket is not strong. It's a ninjutsu released by a mechanism, and the effect is get some discounts. Furthermore, it also depends on who cast it. Open black lens bracket Majestic Destroyer Flame, Great Fire Annihilation close black lens bracket is only a open black lens bracket close black lens bracket level ninjutsu, but in Tokiyu's hands it is no different from open black lens bracket close black lens bracket level ninjutsu. Scene that one's own strength is king. Seeing this scene, Chiyo in the back was completely dumbfounded. Kaden, Fire Style close black lens bracket that Toki used when blocking open black lens bracket Uchiha Itachi close black lens bracket was strong enough. But she never imagined that Shiyu actually had a stronger Kaden, Fire Style hidden. At this moment, her eyes on Shiyu changed completely. Even if he has two kinds of blood stain limit, he has practiced Kaden, Fire Style to such an extent. This Kaden, Fire Style is probably even stronger than the Uchiha family known as the Kaden, Fire Style family. For this, Chiyo at this moment is convinced. Not only him, but also a figure jumping out of the sea of fire. Boom! This figure fell steadily on the ground, but his body became a little charred. No doubt that he is obviously the Sasori who fought against Tokiyu before in open black lens bracket Kaden, Fire Style close black lens bracket. It's just that there are only 2 scrolls left behind him at the moment. Looking at the black smoke rising from the sea of fire, Shiyu already knew the answer. Sasori used the second scroll just now, Sweetened Water Style Eclipse. Sasori body, in the state of a puppet, Lee Dun, the scroll spewed out a powerful impact, corrosive and highly poisonous water from the palm pipe Jinchuriki column. The size of the water Jinchuriki column can be adjusted arbitrarily by controlling the rotation of the elbow with the check generated by regeneration core, and it can cut objects like a laser when it is the strongest. It's like our current water gun. If it wasn't for the second round of blocking with this move, even if Sasori could escape with a hook, he wouldn't be as good as he is now. Takagawa Takiwa, right. I have to admit, I underestimated you before. At this moment, Sasori even changed his name. Seeing that at this moment, he already regards Shiyu as an opponent of the same level from the bottom of his heart. However, if you continue to perform such a level of ninjutsu, I see how long you can last. In Sasori's eyes, Shiyu is powerful, but the latter's chakra is limited as a human. Even he can't get rid of this fate. Although he was made into a human puppet by himself, he still relies on himself to use his heart. Manufactured regeneration core to make chakra. The essence is no different from the method of human making. However, in his opinion, he can make more chakra than Tokiha. Because the Kaden Fire Style, Flame Prisoner Ray, and Sweetened Water Style, Eclipse Stream he cast just now were all borrowed from the flames and water aura stored in the scroll in advance. It was sealed in advance. Then he released it through the mechanism that connected his body, so it would not consume too much chakra. It only takes a small amount of chakra to maintain. Hearing Sasori's words, Chiyo's mother-in-law is also a little worried. Shiyu, leave it to me next. Chiyo's voice fell, and before Shiyu could answer, he took out a scroll with the word, forbidden, written on it from his satchel. Sasori in front of him, he said softly. This is a technique that was sealed by myself. I thought I would not use it anymore, but now it seems that I have to use it. Well, let me use it to end this battle. Chio, who had finished speaking, ripped off the forbidden on the scroll. When she unfolded the scroll, 10 characters written all over it. Open black lens bracket, door close black lens bracket. With the Indian knot in Chio's hand, the 1010 open black lens bracket, door close black lens bracket on the scroll flew out of it strangely. Then, under the eyes of Shiyu and Sasori, they turned into 10 figures. To be precise, 10 puppets. These 10 puppets have one thing in common, that is, they all have a door on their foreheads. It seems to have some special meaning. Seeing this scene, Sasori said after being slightly stunned. Old woman, you are really amazing. There is a saying in the puppet world that the ability of a puppet master is measured by the number of puppets he controls. This is your ultimate technique, 10-finger puppet. This is the masterpiece of the first-generation puppet master, Monziman. I heard that you once conquered a city with this ninjutsu. 10 people from 10 members of the White Secret Technique Kinmatsu. After some praise, Sasori immediately said, this puppet 040 technique is really surprising, but... Sasori, who was talking, took out the third scroll behind him, and the dark shadows kept flying out of it. After a while, the sky was occupied by dense figures. Glance, there are about 100 figures. But that's not the point. The point is that these 100 figures are puppets. With the appearance of these 100 puppets, Sasori's unfinished words have been added to this. I conquered a country with this technique. Red Secret Technique 100 Machines Exercise. Looking at the 100 puppets in the sky, Chio was also extremely shocked. Because Sasori's technique has surpassed her knowledge of Puppet Master. According to the first generation of Puppet Master, Monziman, a person can manipulate only 10 puppets at most. Fingers connected to the heart, this is the limit of the Puppet Master's perfect manipulation of puppets. And if you want to exceed this number, it is impossible. Because of this, Monziman created the White Secret Technique Kinmatsu 10 people. And this ninjutsu is also known as the most perfect and ultimate puppet technique. But Chio never thought that Sasori had reached a level that his predecessors had never reached, and even transformed himself into a puppet, thus getting rid of this fetter. Seeing that both of them performed their ultimate ninjutsu, Shiyu felt a little restless in his heart. Also developed a puppet ninjutsu after getting the system reward puppet technique. Title: Golden Secret Skills. There are 3 things you can do when you read. Chapter 230-Golden Secret Skills, Thousands of Dharma Signs. After using the Red Secret Technique, Sasori also said, I'm so embarrassed. It took so long with the old woman and the little devil, and finally used the ultimate technique. However, I have to admit your strength. So, today, let you have a good experience of my 100 machines. Seeing that Sasori was about to make a move, Chio also said, Time Feather. You consumed too much chakra just now, take a break for the time being. Chio's voice did not answer on behalf of Tokiyu, but he controlled the 10 people of Kinmatsu and attacked Sasori. 10 people, 10 machines. Even though the Jinmatsu 10 people and 10 congregations are endless, they have been completely crushed in terms of numbers. Moreover, Chio's mother-in-law is also getting old, and chakra can't keep up. Besides, Sasori is a puppet genius. Even though it is a bit difficult to manipulate hundreds of puppets, it is still within his tolerance. To sum up, Chio has no chance of winning. However, Chio has a backup, that is, a special ability among the Kinmatsu 10 people and 10 people. The so-called special ability is that several puppets can use different tricks together, including attack, defense, and seal. For example, number 4 and number 9, 3 puppets linked together, can launch seal technique 3 joules suction crushing. Number 8, 2 puppets linked together, can display lock sickle slash. Number 2, 2 puppets linked together, can form a defense formation, rotational formation. At this time, Chio in the middle of the battle was already at a disadvantage, but she seized an opportunity to cast open black lens bracket 3 joules suction crushing close black lens bracket. Directly hit Sasori's S body and nailed the ladder to the stone wall. It was a ninja tool in the shape of a tiger's head, which contained the seal power. Seeing this, Chiyo said, "Sasori, it's over. This spell will suppress your chakra, and you can't move." Words fell. Chiyo was also so tired that he fell to his knees. Was already old, so she couldn't last long in such a high-intensity battle. If this move open black lens bracket 3 joules suction crushing close black lens bracket can't hit, then she is unable to fight anymore, because at this time her chakra has been exhausted. However, after all the calculations, it didn't count, and Sasori, who was hit by open black lens bracket 3 joules suction crushing close black lens bracket, was already a useless puppet. Because at the moment of being hit, Sasori bounced his regeneration core onto the bodies of other puppets. That's why Shiyu reminded him aloud. "Mother Chiyo, things are not as simple as you think." "What does it mean?" "I mean the battle isn't over yet." Seeing Chiyo's puzzled face, Shiyu also explained, "Sasori's body, although you hit him, his core has long since escaped from that puppet." "Core?" Chiyo was surprised. "Nice." Shiyu nodded, and then said, "According to your battle with him, Sasori's secret is revealed. Sasori has already made himself, why can he still have his own consciousness and why can he still make chakra? The root of all this is his regeneration core, from which all his chakras are released. But now this regeneration core is no longer on his body. In other words, Sasori was not sealed, but possessed one of the puppets here." As soon as Shiyu's words came out, Chiyo was also shocked. But she still couldn't believe it for a while. After all, she had never heard of such a thing. Other words, she hasn't delved into the puppet technique to this point. If these words were spit out from someone else's mouth, Chiyo would not necessarily believe it. But if it was Shiyu, it gave her the possibility to believe. Because since seeing Shiyu, the things that shocked her have not stopped. At this moment, a voice sounded. Chiyo completely believed Tokiyu's words. "Little devil, I didn't expect you to see through my secret." Chiyo, who heard the words, followed with his eyes, and saw a puppet slowly standing up from the ground. When her eyes fell on the puppet's chest, she found that it was a device on the previous Sasori body. It is precisely because of this that Shiyu's inference is confirmed. At the same time, it can also prove one thing, that is, Shiyu's puppet technique is probably better than her. Because Shiyu saw through things that she didn't even see through. But this is just her guess and has not been confirmed. Because perhaps Tokiha has extraordinary powers of observation, it is not necessarily the case that he knew Sasori's secret. At this moment, it is not only Chiyo, but also Sasori who has such an idea. He knows better than anyone else that he has researched puppet technique to an unprecedented level to achieve this step. "Why is it easy to be seen through? Little devil, I don't know how you see through my secret. However, that's it for now. You should be honored to be part of my collection." In Sasori's opinion, his puppet technique should be invincible in the world. After the words fell, he manipulated the remaining dozens of puppets to gather around him, staring at Shiyu and the two of them. Although it was emphasized that dozens of puppets were destroyed, if he controlled dozens of puppets less, it would be less difficult for Sasori to control the remaining dozens of puppets. Furthermore, now Chiyo has lost his fighting power. Without the competition of Jinmatsu 10 people and 10 people, his chances of winning have undoubtedly been expanded. However, Shiyu's next sentence made his expression suddenly startled. "Oh, you're trying to force me to slap you in the face, right? Well, then I'll show you what the ultimate puppet technique is." When the words fell, Shiyu stopped talking nonsense, and also took out a scroll. The moment he opened the scroll, a low voice also came from his mouth. Quote. "Open black lens bracket golden secret skills thousands of dharma signs close black lens bracket." As Shiyu's voice fell, a shocking scene appeared. I saw one after another silhouettes constantly flying out of the scroll, and the scene was the same as the red secret technique that Sasori used before. Although these figures are all puppets, the two are very different. Because the number of puppets of Shiyu is not a simple 10, or 100, but 1,000. Not only that, Shiyu's puppets are all extraordinary. There is a puppet that uses Kaden, fire style, a puppet that uses Doden, earth style, and a puppet that uses Raiden, thunder style. Corresponding to one kind of ability, 1,000 puppets have 1,000 kinds of abilities. In short, all 5 attributes of escape are used. Some puppets with the same attributes have different ninjutsu which can be used together. Not only that, but also the yin attribute demonic illusion puppet and the yang attribute healing puppet. Do you think this is the end? Can some of the thousands of puppets still be able to cast blood-stained boundary, and because they are all puppets, they are not afraid of demonic illusion? But the most important point is that Shiyu it is no longer controlled by such low-level means as chakra lines. Instead, they use the chakra seal to mentally manipulate them, because each of their puppets has a regeneration core, similar to Sasori in their bodies, giving them a certain level of consciousness. As long as Shiyu's thoughts move, they can receive orders. Spiritual manipulation, this is undoubtedly the highest level of puppet technique. And Shiyu sends them chakra through chakra seal, so as long as Shiyu's chakra is not exhausted, then their chakra is unlimited. And this kind of chakra seal was called puppet seal by Shiyu. In the past 2 years, Shiyu would create a few puppets to play with when he was bored. As long as your chakra is strong enough and your spirit is strong enough, there is no end to the number of puppets. So-called thousands of Dharma signs means endless and different. At this moment, Sasori and Chiyo are completely stunned. Chapter 231-4 Purple Flame Array. Death of Sasori. Sasori, want me to be your collection? Do you think you are qualified for this? At this time, Shiyu's words were undoubtedly deterrent. If Sasori and Chiyo were shocked by the abilities Tokiha showed earlier, it is now. Moreover, it is still unparalleled shock. Because they are all puppet masters. As Sasori said earlier, the strength of a puppet master is measured by the number of puppets they control. In front of him are the best answer. At this moment, Sasori is speechless. Because he couldn't refute it. Originally, he thought he was the best puppet master in the world, not because he was boasting. The more than 10 years since he left Sunagakur village, he has visited various countries in the world, but none of the puppet masters can catch his eye. Because at that time, he was already very powerful. That's why he agreed to join the Akatsuki organization to find another kind of joy in life. But today, Shiyu is undoubtedly that he knows what it means to be called heaven and earth, and people outside people. There is a strong hand in the strong, and a mountain is taller than a mountain. Although his puppet technique is very clear, compared with Shiyu in front of him, it seems a little insignificant. Manipulating puppets through the mind is what countless puppet masters dream of. For thousands of years, countless generations of puppet masters have exhausted their efforts, and they have never been able to reach this state with their lifelong efforts. Because of this, this is a thing that is considered impossible. Even a 040 puppet genius as strong as Sasori has only reached this step of regenerating core. Although a step has been taken in this direction, it has stopped there. And today, the two of them have witnessed this miracle. Can this not make them excited? Can it not shock them? They never imagined that a boy under the age of 16 could be so powerful that they are beyond their reach. Is much stronger than Sasori when he was younger. At this moment, Sasori seems to have lost his desire to fight. But he doesn't want to fight if Shiyu will spare him, so obviously he won't. Not to mention that he is the mission target designated by the system. The moment he moved Shiyu as a collectible, his end was doomed. I saw Shiyu's thoughts move, and the 4 puppets directly occupied the north, south, east, and west, and then performed a kind of ninjutsu. Boundary ninjutsu 4 Purple Flame Formation. It can only be activated by 4 people for joint use, respectively opening a cuboid enchantment with purple transparent flames in the 4 directions of east, west, north and south. The enchantment array is attached with purple flames, which cannot allow outsiders to enter the enchantment. Once they touch the four walls of the enchantment, they will be burned by the flames. This enchantment ninjutsu was also used in the original Audiobook 4 People and 4 when Orochimaru dealt with the 3 Hokage. Are 2 advantages to enchantment ninjutsu. First, you can't let the enemy escape. Second, you can't let outsiders enter. Of course, if a person's strength is strong enough to break through the realm, that's another matter. The reason for Tokyo doing this is simple, so that Sasori can escape. He also has a scroll, or other means of escape. Not careful, you may be escaped. After all, open black lens bracket Sasori close black lens bracket also has cage level power, so you have to be cautious when you should be cautious. If he pretended to be coercive and let the other party run away, he would save face. Shiyu's move surprised Sasori and Chiyo again, and used the puppet to release enchantment ninjutsu, which was the only thing they had ever seen in their lives. Okay, now we can play slowly. With the sound of Shiyu's voice, the two just recovered from their shock. But also because of this, Sasori suddenly withdrew the chakra line. Immediately after. Lost Sasori's control, dozens of puppets are also from midair. Keep falling. Boom, 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 boom. This scene undoubtedly told Shiyu that he gave up. The reason he gave up was that he knew that he would not be able to beat Shiyu, and he couldn't escape either. Other words, he didn't run away at all. Because Sasori is not afraid of death, after losing his thoughts of his parents, all he has left in his life is the pursuit of eternal art. Boom. As the last puppet fell, Sasori's voice sounded slowly. I lost. Although Sasori's tone seemed weak, he was not at all unwilling. He had nothing to say when he was defeated by puppet technique. Hearing Sasori's words, Shiyu's face didn't show much emotion. But Chiyo was slightly startled, because she knew the arrogance in her grandson's heart. Other words, this is the arrogance in the hearts of every genius. But the so-called geniuses in this world are not farts in the eyes of Shiyu today. 100,000 times the talent, what can you compare to, Takagawa Tokyo? I have to admit that you are indeed better than me. Sasori praised Shiyu, then said, didn't one of your teammates be captured by Orochimaru? As a reward, I'll tell you one thing. There is my spy in Orochimaru, and in 10 days, I will meet him at the Tiandi Bridge of Kusanagi village. However, Tokyo's answer made Sasori's face bewildered. This reward means nothing to me. It doesn't make sense. Seeing Sasori's surprised expression, Tokyo said again. You have a spy, so I don't have an undercover. Sasori's brows were also wrinkled when he heard the words, and after some thought, a light suddenly flashed in his eyes. Although this answer is outrageous, if it is placed on Shiyu, it is not impossible. Apparently, Sasori guessed who the undercover Shiyu was talking about was Sasuke Uchiha. At this point, Sasori was even more afraid of Shiyu. He never imagined that a teenage boy would have such a terrifying mind at this moment. He felt that he couldn't see Shiyu at all. Because of this makes his so-called reward a bit ridiculous. I don't want to ink with you anymore, I have to go and see the battle of my comrades. Words, Sasori spoke slowly. It's worth fighting with you. Your puppet technique has reached its perfection, you must have seen through my weakness, give me a treat. Sasori did not choose to beg for mercy and escape, but was willing to die. This is the self-esteem of the strong. In this regard, Shiyu also fulfilled him. I can still grant you this wish. As Shiyu's voice fell, when his thoughts moved, he saw 2 sword-wielding puppets suddenly rushed out. Seeing this, Sasori also opened his hands, waiting for death to come. Chiyo knew that Sasori wanted to die, and she didn't stop her. Because she knew that if Sasori was caught, he would still die, so it would be better to let him die in an open battle. He knows that his grandson is sinful, and this is undoubtedly the best relief. Kai, With 2 large knives inserted into Sasori's regeneration core, it also means that his life is coming to an end. Sasori looked at Chiyo and uttered the last words. Old woman. I guess you won't live long, I'll wait for you below. Although Sasori is ruthless, he is also a mischievous tsundere ghost. In fact, when Chiyo came to him, he had already felt something in his heart. Otherwise, it won't hold back against the former in the previous engagement. Tokiha can see it, and with Sasori's death, Tokiha went to Naruto to see the situation. Don't know if the latter and Kakashi have dealt with Deidara, no. Chapter 232-art as Pai Daxing. In a collapsed cave. Sasori lowered his arrogant heads in the eyes of Tokiyu and Chiyo. As strong people, only death would make them bow their heads. Until the moment of death, Sasori finally understood Itachi's reminder. Ding! The mission to kill open black lens bracket Sasori of the red sand close black lens bracket is complete. System prompt has just fallen, and Chiyo's voice is also slow. Chiyu, thank you. Thank me for what? Thank you for helping him. Chiyo responded and immediately said, to be able to die in the hands of a person whose puppet technique is stronger than himself, is to preserve his Sasori's dignity. Chiyo's words are true, some people just have these problems. It was for this reason that she did not hold any hatred because her grandson was killed by Chiyu. Moreover, Sasori's last sentence made her very happy. At least, the latter still retains a little conscience. After a few simple conversations, Tokiyu also said, Mother Chiyo, just rest here. Naruto and the others, I'll just go and help. Chiyo has no objection to Shiyu's proposal. She has exhausted her relative chakra, and even if she goes, I'm afraid it won't help much. If it drags her back, it will be bad. Moreover, she believes that as long as Shiyu goes, there will not be any problems. Through this battle, she had a profound understanding of Shiyu's strength, so powerful that she was ashamed of herself. And Shiyu thought like this, Chiyo just died of his grandson, so it should be slow. Besides, he doesn't need the latter's help. With the sound of breaking through the air, Shiyu also left the collapsed cave. And the others are fighting, Shiyu did not choose to use Horaishin. Otherwise, it might just be a bomb calling on his face. Chiyo's eyes were still full of shock when he looked at the direction in which Shiyu disappeared. What a terrible monster. She did not expect that after such a great battle, Shiyu was still alive and well, not even breathing. Obviously, her previous worries were superfluous. The latter's chakra's strength was beyond her imagination, and she couldn't spend it with common sense at all. Konoha, how lucky. At the same time, Shiyu was heading towards Naruto's battlefield. However, he sensed another battle on the way. And the one fighting here is none other than the Tenten who went to pick up the forbidden character spell earlier. When you came to the battlefield where she was, the latter just finished the opponent. Finally solved. This battle is undoubtedly a huge test for Tenten, because the opponent she defeated is herself. Other words, now her strength has broken through again. Although she was hindered by this ninjutsu, the result is good. Tenten. Hearing this, Tenten's eyes followed, and Shiyu's figure was also in his beautiful eyes. I'm fine, it's just that the chakra consumption is a bit too much. Tenten responded with a sound, and immediately said that he is here. Have you already solved the enemy? Tenten is not stupid, just guessed something at once. Shiyu nodded, and then said, that. The puppet guy has already been killed by us. I was going to help Naruto and the others just now. When I passed by here, I found you were fighting, so I hurried over here. Shiyu's words were mixed with worry, which made Tenten happy. Tenten, you quickly ask Mr. Guy what happened to them. Yes. Seeing Shiyu, Tenten almost forgot his teacher and teammates for a while. Remembered. After some inquiry, Shiyu and the two also learned that the battle between Gai Huang, Neji and Little Li was over. They all defeated their opponents. Although they said that the opponents were copies of themselves, their strength was not weak. Otherwise, they wouldn't have taken so long. Next, Shiyu and the two gathered with Emperor Guy, Neji, and Little Lee. Without any extra chatter, they headed towards Naruto and the others on the battlefield. At that time, when the four of them rushed to Naruto and Kakashi, they found that the fighting here had stopped. Deidara lost to Naruto's two-tails state and fled into the air, but was twisted by Kakashi's Kamui and arm. If it is only Naruto in two-tail status, he can still take high-altitude battles and slowly grind the former to death. But with Kakashi, he thinks he is no match for the two. Because Kakashi's Kamui makes him very afraid. However, what shocked Emperor Guy and Tenten at this time was Naruto's Yuhi-colored chakra coat. Also, there are two swaying tails on the butt. That's why Emperor Guy asked first. Kakashi, is Naruto in this state? Flowers 0 inches well, it's the power of open black lens bracket QB, 9 tails close black lens bracket. After Kakashi's confirmation, Guy 44 was also extremely shocked. Neji, Tenten and Little Lee knew about Naruto's body seal open black lens bracket QB, 9 tails close black lens bracket shortly after being promoted to Chunin. So, it didn't shock them. They were shocked that Naruto could actually control this kind of power. You know, Konoha's 3-3-tailed orc Jinchuriki column power only the first generation, Uzumaki Mito, can barely use a little QB, 9 tails chakra by virtue of his own strength. But Naruto is obviously not that strong, so why is he able to use this answer? They absolutely cannot guess. But at this moment, they also know that this is not the time to ask, because they do not know whether the enemy has escaped or is hiding in the dark. At this time, Deidara, who was hiding in the dark, was also shocked. Since Tokiyu appeared here, it means that Sasori was defeated. This result was something he didn't expect. I can't believe that Big Brother Sasori was actually defeated by that old woman and this little devil, and how can he say that he is always beautiful? I didn't expect to die so soon. Just as Deidara muttered, Kakashi said to Neji. Neji, please excuse me. Neji nodded, and immediately turned on Byakugan. After a glance, he immediately found Deidara's location. There. As Neji's voice fell, Deidara was instantly surrounded by Tokiwa's 6. Looking at the 6 people in front of her, Deidara seemed to know that she had nowhere to go. It seems that escape is impossible. Then let you see my ultimate art. Hearing Dorada's words, Kakashi hurriedly reminded, everyone, be careful, that guy used a long-range bomb attack. And after Kakashi's voice fell, Deidara's body began to swell. Immediately after, a word roared out of his mouth. Art is a blast. Hearing these words, Shiyu couldn't help but think of an experience quote, art is the big star. Exclamation mark. Neji observed Deidara's motives with Byakugan and hurriedly reminded. No, let's get out of here. At the same time as Neji's voice sounded, a shout came out of Deidara's mouth. Drink. Deidara's entire body exploded instantly after the sound of drinking. Boom. Please download the novel without underline for 4 readings. Chapter 233 Hiraishin Guiding Thunder. The Tail Beast's Secret. Just as Deidara exploded, Shiyu didn't obey Neji and Emperor Guy. Instead, I quickly formed an Indian style in my hand. Immediately after, space distorted, and Deidara, who was about to explode completely, disappeared strangely in front of everyone's eyes. Amidst everyone's astonishment, a thunderous sound rang out from a place not far from here. Boom, boom. Although this is not 4th floor Luo, its power cannot be underestimated. It directly blew up a small piece of forest, and looking at the messy place in the distance, everyone was relieved with lingering fears. They know that if they were hit by this just now, even if you don't die, serious injuries are inevitable. At this moment, except for Kakashi and Naruto who probably know what's going on. King Guy, Neji, 1010, and Little Lee were surprised because they had never seen such means before. What happened just now? 040. King Guy exclaimed in surprise. It should be Shiyu who diverted the explosion in time. Talking, Kakashi will look at Tokiyu. If Tokiyu didn't make a move just now, he would have to use his last chakra to transfer it with open black lens bracket Kamui close black lens bracket. Hearing Kakashi's words, the 4 members of the Guy Emperor team stared at Tokiyu in astonishment. They never imagined that this masterpiece just now was actually shot by Shiyu's hand, which was too shocking. Why Emperor Guy couldn't help but ask. Kakashi, what kind of ninjutsu is that? Hearing this, 1010, Neji, and the others' eyes also fell on Kakashi. Kakashi didn't answer directly, but mentioned something to Emperor Guy. You should have heard that when open black lens bracket Kyuubi, Ninetales close black lens bracket attacked Konoha, the open black lens bracket tailed beast bomb close black lens bracket released by the latter was transferred by open black lens bracket 4th Hokage close black lens bracket. 4 generations of Hokage transfer tailed beast bomb. Emperor Guy murmured, and after a brief contemplation, 555 words immediately popped into his mind. Could it be the art of Hiraishin? Kakashi nodded, then said, if I guess correctly, it should be Hiraishin guiding thunder. Although Kakashi did not practice Hiraishin's art, he was once a disciple of 4th Hokage, so he naturally had some understanding of this ninjutsu. And this open black lens bracket Hiraishin guiding thunder close black lens bracket in the mission, he has also seen open black lens bracket 4th Hokage close black lens bracket use. So, just now he caught the clue at a glance. Because Tokiyu was the only one present who mastered the Hiraishin art. Kakashi's confirmation, the 4 guys were extremely shocked. They never thought that Shiyu would actually master Hiraishin's jutsu, to know that this ninjutsu is in addition to 2nd Hokage and 4th Hokage. Lapse of more than 10 years, no one in Konoha has been able to become a master. But today is reappearing in Tokiyu's hands, can this not surprise them? Senses, Little Lee was also broken. Shiyu, I didn't expect you to be a master of this type of ninjutsu. What is this? Even the power I used just now was also made by Shiyu to help me as a master. When Naruto said these words, everyone was even more astonished. This Hiraishin's art is no problem, the season is so strong, it is completely within the acceptable range. But what is open black lens bracket Kyuubi, Ninetales close black lens bracket that is the incarnation of evil? It is incredible that Tokiyu can help master Naruto with such power. Not only Emperor Guy, but also Kakashi. Since he was in the middle of the battle just now, he didn't ask any further questions. Now that the battle has ended, the 2 members of the Akatsuki organization have already been beaten by them, so naturally don't care. However, this is just what Kakashi et al. Think is the case. In fact, open black lens bracket Deidara close black lens bracket that Dabi is not dead at all. Just blew up. It's his clone. Shiyu is not interested in his life or death. Because the latter has never provoked him from the beginning to the end, and furthermore, there is no quest related to him in the system. Therefore, there is no need for him to waste time on the latter. At this moment, Tenten is also curious. Shiyu, what exactly did you do? It's very simple, just go to the sealed world of open black lens bracket Kyuubi, Ninetales close black lens bracket with Naruto and chat with the latter. Then, we have a deal. What agreement? King Guy asked first. Since he lives in Naruto's body, there is no reason to live in vain, so his chakra is used to pay the rent. Once a year, we've come back for the first 12 years. Well, that's it. Naruto agreed. Hearing what the 2 of them said, Kakashi and the others were also puzzled. This is also the reason why the legendary evil deity open black lens bracket Kyuubi, Ninetales close black lens bracket can speak so easily. That's why Kakashi asked, Shiyu, how could open black lens bracket Kyuubi, Ninetales close black lens bracket agree to your request? Because if Naruto dies, Kyuubi, Nine Tails, will die too. To be precise, it disappears for a while. The more powerful the tailed beast, the longer the resurrection time. A powerful one like Kyuubi, Nine Tails, will not reappear for decades. Kakashi and the others were also a little shocked after hearing what Tokyo said. Because of this secret, they obviously don't know it. In this regard, Shiyu repeated what he said to open black lens bracket Jiraiya close black lens bracket to everyone. Just that the part of open black lens bracket Nohara Rin close black lens bracket is omitted, and open black lens bracket Karataki Yagura close black lens bracket is used instead, the effect is the same. Because Shiyu knew that this incident was an unbearable past event for Kakashi to come to see him, so let's not mention it. So it is. Emperor Guy murmured, but then another doubt rose in his heart, and he didn't hide it. Shiyu, I'm curious how you got into the sealed world inside Naruto. The sealed world is the spiritual world. Shiyu responded with a sound, then said, there are two ways to enter the world of others. The first is with your own consent, which is to take the initiative to share your spiritual world with others. The second is to have the special ability to penetrate the inner world of others, such as Sharingan. Hearing this, everyone suddenly realized. And after getting the answer, they did not continue to ask further questions. In the opinion of Emperor Guy and the others, Shiyu definitely used the first method. After all, they didn't know that Shiyu had open black lens bracket Sharingan close black lens bracket. But only Naruto and Kakashi know that Tokyo can do both ways. Only 6 people know about this now: Jiraiya, Tsunade, Kakashi, Iruka, Naruto and Sasuke. They are all Shiyu K0. 4 to those who believe. As for the 3 generations of Hokage who still knew about this, he has already sacrificed. Of course, even if Shiyu revealed that he had the secret of open black lens bracket Sharingan close black lens bracket, he still couldn't do anything with him. The reason why he chose not to expose it is that it is not necessary. The second is that he is afraid that Danzo will come to harass him again. Now he is too lazy to pay attention to the latter. No need to block it, just try not to. No matter how evil Shiyu's talent is, or if he shows other blood-stain limits, Danzo just thinks it's innate. But if he was told that Shiyu has a Sharingan that can be automatically switched on and off, then it is estimated that he would have to use some power, not just the various information of Master Shiyu like now. No way. Who told him to have so many open black lens bracket Sharingan close black lens bracket? After a simple conversation, everyone's attention turned to Gaara. Chapter 234 Heaven-defying means. Come back to life. Immediately after, Naruto left the battlefield with Gaara on his back, because they were worried that they would encounter other members of the Akatsuki organization. After meeting with Chiyo, Shiyu and the others came to a plain with endless green grass. Putting Gaara on the ground, Naruto also hurriedly said, Shiyu, hurry up and take a look. Shiyu nodded, then slowly crouched down. At this moment, everyone was extremely worried, because they knew Akatsuki about the consequences of Tailed Beast being taken away. Also therefore, although they knew that Shiyu's medical ninjutsu was good, there was still a look of worry on their faces. But only Shiyu didn't panic in the slightest, because everything was under his control. In fact, after the battle between Chunin Exam and Aikyo Shukaku ended, Tokyo planted a seal in Gaara's body. Once the tailed beast in Gaara's body is drawn away and loses its strength, the seal will be automatically released. And Shiyu implanted a strand of chakra from open black lens bracket one tail close black lens bracket in this seal. The purpose is to save Gaara's life. Originally, Shiyu didn't think so much, but simply didn't want Gaara to die. He didn't think of his unintentional act, but it became the key to saving Gaara now. One, because of this strand of one-tail chakra, Gaara always kept a breath. Although he can't live, he won't die easily. Shiyu did this just in case. Chiyo's mother-in-law doesn't follow, the plot is going, she died early, or she is not ready to sacrifice herself. In that case, Gaara will really die. Therefore, Shiyu kindly kept her hand. It was also because of this breath that he could lend a helping hand. Otherwise, he would not have boasted to Naruto before, saying that he had the ability to seek treatment for Gaara. Because he found that the strand of one-tail chakra in Gaara's body had been unsealed, hanging on the latter's last breath. Why Tokyo is not in a hurry. If Gaara is completely dead, entering the chakra of Ikkyu will not help. At that time, I can only rely on Chiyo's reincarnation. Of course, this is Chiyo's last plan. After seeing Shiyu's inspection, Naruto asked again. Shiyu, how's it going? If I'm here, take it easy. Voice fell, and Shiyu started to rescue, and while treating Gaara, he input some chakras of open black lens bracket one tail close black lens bracket. One tail sealed in his body, it has been integrated with his chakra and is a part of his life. This can explain why Jinchuriki, column force, and tailed beast appear in the same spiritual space. This is also the reason why tailed beast will die if it is pulled away from the human Jinchuriki column force. And human Jinchuriki column force will disappear for a period of time when tailed beast dies. Because they are already a community. And once the Jinchuriki column force dies, the body will not be able to gather chakra. The power of the tailed beast will also remain in the body of the Jinchuriki column power, and only after the tailed beast chakra is completely dissipated from the body of the human Jinchuriki column power will it be recondensed between heaven and earth. Therefore, this process is destined to be long. During the time when Tokyo was treating Gaara, Sunagaku, who organized the village organization to rescue Gaara, also rushed to the scene. Kankuro and Tamari are among them. Done. Restoring Gaara's vitality, Shiyu also got up and finished his work. When Tamari saw that Gaara was still in a coma, he couldn't help but ask. Shiyu, Gaara, he's all right. Shiyu nodded, and then said, the signs of life have recovered, and it is estimated that I will wake up in a while. After receiving Tokyo's confirmation, Tamari was also determined. And Sunagaku, who didn't understand Shiyu's abilities, were a little unconvinced. Because in their cognition, once the tailed beast is pulled away, it will definitely die. Unless the immortals take action, it is impossible to bring the dead back to life. Because this kind of thing happened more than once in their Sunagaku village, and the previous Ichiro Jinchuriki column force died like this. Although they doubted in their hearts, they did not tell the truth. After all, Konoha helped the Sunagaku village a lot this time, not only saving Kankuro, but also helping them find Gaara. For this reason, Chiyo personally verified it. However, she was stunned to find that Gaara was extremely vigorous at this time. Moreover, the powerful force in her body actually suppressed her. But that's not the point is that she is very familiar with this chakra. That's open black lens bracket Ikkyu close black lens bracket, S chakra. Open black lens bracket Shukaku close black lens bracket was sealed into Gaara's body by herself, so she was convinced of it. Originally, she sacrificed herself to save Gaara by performing self-life reincarnation, which was the best way she could think of. Redemption. But what she never expected was that Shiyu actually saved Gaara to life. At this moment, Shiyu really looked like a fairy in the eyes of everyone. They knew that Konoha's Tsunade was the #1 medical ninjutsu person in the ninja world today, but they didn't expect her disciples to be so terrifying. Because of this, Tsunade's height in their hearts has also risen. Half an hour later, Gaara finally woke up from the coma, and the scene in front of her made her face bewildered. He fell into a coma after the battle with Delata, and then, he was brought here and pulled away from One Tail and he was on the verge of death. So, he has absolutely no idea what's going on. What the hell is going on? Hearing Gaara's words, Naruto smiled and said, they all came here to save you. Save me? Well, you really caused me a lot of trouble. Naruto's voice fell, and Kankuro echoed. Yes. Your brother has really caused everyone a lot of trouble. Seeing the two of them talking like this, Temari said with the attitude of a big sister. You two are too arrogant, right? 040. Gaara is a seal. Pay attention to your attitude. Having said that, there was a smile on Temari's face. Immediately after, as an older sister, Temari immediately asked, Gaara, how are you feeling now? Gaara let out a soft sound and was about to stand up, but found that her limbs were a little stiff now. It's normal. Gaara has been dying for so long, her whole body is cold, only a ray of fire is beating in her heart. If it wasn't for Shiyu leaving that seal, he is alive now, then Chiyo can only die. Don't stand up yet, your body is still very stiff now. As Temari's voice fell, the surrounding people were stunned for a while, and they all expressed their emotions. Great, Kazekage-sama is fine. Yes, thank God. No, thanks to that. Genin from Konoha. Yes. Quote. At this moment, everyone's eyes shifted from Gaara to Tokiyu. Although Shiyu was only a genin, there was no disdain or contempt in their eyes at this time. Some are just grateful and amazed. Having such a heaven-defying medical ninjutsu at such a young age, it would be worth it if it were a few decades later. However, if Chiyo told them how to defeat Sasori, he would probably be shocked. It will not be as simple as exclamation. Chapter 235 inches The Art of Hiraishin, and the Art of Sending from Heaven. While everyone was grateful to Tokiyu, Temari also recounted the general situation to Gaara. Because of this, his eyes also fell on Shiyu. Shiyu, thank you. You're welcome. Shiyu responded lightly, and then said, This is the task that our Hokage gave me, and I have to complete it. And we're allies, that's what I should do. Shiyu felt that it was time to bring Tsunade and Dai out to make himself look taller. Sure enough. Hearing what Shiyu said, everyone's impression of Shiyu was also raised to a higher level. Shiyu, thank you for saving my brother. Thank you. Temari and Kankuro said in succession, their faces filled with gratitude. You must know that the Sunagakure village also participated in the Agaric collapse plan designated by Orochimaru, so they were deceived, but they were always involved. Also, because of that accident, the 3 generations of Hokage died. But Konoha, despite the past, became an ally with them. Although they gave up some resources in the agreement, there is no way out. Now that this incident has happened, they have completely let go of the estrangement in their hearts. When the Sunagakure village suffered this great disaster, Konoha not only did not perfunctory things. Moreover, they also sent such an elite. If it weren't for Yu, let alone save Gaara today, it is unknown whether they can even find Gaara's body. And the others to defeat Sasori, Gaara would probably have been made one of his collections. After some deliberation, Tokiyu and the others were going to go to Sunagakure village first. However, just as everyone was about to leave, Naruto couldn't help asking. Tokiha, Sunagakure village, did you leave a space mark? Hearing Naruto's words, Shiyu immediately knew what he wanted to do. Kakashi, who had a similar experience, also guessed it. Gai Huang, Neji, Tenten, Little Lee and Chiyo, the 5 of them guessed something vaguely. As for the others, they are at a loss. Why, I want to be lazy. Shiyu smiled. Isn't that more convenient? When Kakashi heard the words, he said, Naruto, even if Shiyu left a space imprint there, it is a long way from Sunagakure village, so too much chakra needs to be consumed. Isn't it okay last time? Naruto was puzzled, apparently referring to the fact that the 3 of them sent Sasuke back to Orochimaru more than 2 years ago. At that time, they used Hiraishin. And the distance is similar, it takes 2 or 3 days. Last time we only had 3. Hearing Kakashi's words, Naruto finally understood. Open black lens bracket. The art of Hiraishin close black lens bracket. Although it can be teleported over long distances, the chakra consumed is proportional to the distance and the number of people. The farther the distance, the more people, the more chakra consumption. Last time there were only 3 of them, but now there are dozens of people here. It's impossible for a few of them to teleport and leave the others behind. It's really unreasonable. The conversation between Naruto and Kakashi, Gaara was also curious. Shiyu, what did you say? It's said to return to Sunagakure village in another way. Another way. Gaara murmured, and after thinking of the space mark that Naruto had just said, she couldn't help but think of it boldly. The other way you mean shouldn't be empty, right? As soon as Gaara said this, it immediately attracted the attention of everyone present. It's as if a stone stirred up 1,000 layers of waves. No matter what, the words space teleportation are so attractive. Because so far, the word space teleportation has appeared very rarely. All they know is the Hiraishin art of Konoha Hidden Village and the sky sending art of Kumogakure Village. However, the latter can only transmit hard objects in the outer pit. Because send by heaven has a flaw. That is, high-speed movement will produce violent friction with the air, and ordinary people will be torn apart and die because they cannot keep up with the fast transmission. Of course, there are exceptions. That is 3 Reikage and the following 4th Reikage and Tsunade. The former has thunder body and the latter has creation and regeneration. That's why everyone is so shocked at this moment. Well, seeing Shiyu nodding, the shock in everyone's heart instantly appeared on their faces. Stunned for a while, Temari was the first to break the peaceful atmosphere. Shiyu, you must have learned the art of Hiraishin, right? Shiyu is from Konoha, and the art of Hiraishin belongs to Konoha, so she asks like this. Temari's voice fell, and before Tokyo could answer, Naruto spoke first. You guessed it right. Naruto's words made everyone stunned, and it made them look at Shiyu and not only seemed grateful. Instead, they were shocked. This result was completely beyond their expectations. However, there was still a hint of doubt in their eyes at this time. No way, this incident makes it hard for them to believe. However, it is a pity that there are too many people here, Shiyu estimates. Before Naruto could finish speaking, he was interrupted by Shiyu. This number is still within my tolerance. Naruto will be forced to pretend to him. If not to pretend, it is really a bit sorry for the former. Really? Naruto rode. When did I tell a lie? Well, that's what I said. Between Tokiha and Naruto, Kakashi, who looked like he was empty, asked for confirmation. Shiyu, it's really fine. Kakashi-sensei, don't worry. Shiyu responded with a sound, and then said, and you are not suitable for long journeys in your current appearance. Kakashi used Kamui many times during the battle with Deidara, which caused him to be very weak now. It's great, I can finally stop hurrying. Hee hee. Hearing Naruto's laughter, there was still a trace of doubt on everyone's face. At the same time, Shiyu no longer had any ink marks, and said directly, activating space teleportation requires a certain amount of contact with me, both direct and indirect. Trust me, just hold my hand. If you don't believe me, go back down to earth. As soon as Shiyu's voice fell, Naruto was the first to hold Shiyu's hand. Immediately after is Kakashi and Gai Huang. They have unconditional belief in Shiyu. Moreover, they have already seen Shiyu cast open black lens bracket Hiraishin close black lens bracket. After them was Gaara. He held Shiyu's other hand. No doubt, he chose to believe Shiyu. Besides him, there are Temari and Kankuro. Because they knew that after Gaara was transformed into a beast, Tokyo defeated him by himself. Therefore, it is not impossible for the latter to learn the art of Hiraishin. Furthermore, there is no danger in this matter. If it's fake, it's Shiyu who's being laughed at and not them, they're just taking part in a joke. It is also because of this that it makes people feel the authenticity of this matter. Next second, I saw Chiyo came out of the crowd, took Tamari's hand and said, "Chiyuhui Harishin, art is what I have seen with my own eyes. If you don't want to walk, hurry up." As Chiyo's words fell, everyone put away their last doubts. Of open black lens bracket Sunagakure village close black lens bracket, the letter obviously won't lie. That's why. Everyone held the people who held hands with Chiyu indirectly one by one, and finally formed a circle. At this moment, everyone's belongings fell on Chiyu. Because next. Time to witness and pretend. Thank you turns into the way, Lao Tai for the reward. Thank you, Wan into the road, Lao Tai for the reward. Thank you, Wan into the Dao, for the reward. Immediate top-up event time, August 7th to August 9th. Chapter 236_Sakai. Yamato. The sun rises high. On the vast plain, everyone is ready. When Gai Huang, Ten, Gaara, Tamari and others were looking forward to it, all the Sunagakure were anxious. Chiyu doesn't have any nonsense about it, just think about it. Next second. Original dozens of people disappeared out of thin air, as if they had never appeared. Immediately after. Sunagakure village, at the gate. The two gatekeepers, Sunagakure, who had a serious face, suddenly showed a look of astonishment, their eyes widened, as if they had seen something shocking. At this moment, dozens of figures were reflected in their pupils. They were none other than Chiyu's group. This was also the reason for their consternation. Chiyu's group appeared out of thin air in front of them, but unprecedented. However, compared to their astonishment, Gaara and Sunagakure were even more astonished. Because the two guards didn't know it happened, but Gaara and others knew that. 040. Reason. Looking at the familiar gate of Sunagakure village, they have completely believed a fact in their hearts. That is Tokiyu's true master, Harishin, art. That's why everyone's eyes on Tokiyu changed again at this moment. Yu's ability to save Gaara was enough to shock them, but they didn't expect the former to have mastered such a profound time and space ninjutsu. At this moment, their eyes began to have envy and admiration. They envy this ninjutsu, and they adore Chiyu. Because of this ninjutsu, whether it is fighting or escaping, they are all first class. After a short period of stunned, everyone also praised. Is this what it feels like to teleport in space? It's incredible. Yes, this ninjutsu is too strong. And hearing the voices of everyone, the two guards also realized that they were not dreaming. Kei's cage has been rescued. The news is undoubtedly heartening. Immediately after. Gaara and the others entered Sunagakure village under the watch of two guards. Chiyu and the others took a day off here, and visited Sunagakure village by the way. During this period, Tamari volunteered to be Chiyu and others as a guide, saying that he wanted to thank Chiyu and others for their help. There is no problem with this reason. But as for whether she has other ideas, it is estimated that only Ten know. Because she was a little too enthusiastic about Tokiyu. On the third day, the gate of Sunagakure village. At this time, a bunch of people gathered here, including Chiyu and others. Arrived at Sunagakure village, they stayed here for a day and a half, and now they are going back to Konoha to resume their lives. And Gaara, Tamari, Kankuro and others sent them off in person, and even Chiyo's mother-in-law was among them. This is enough to give Chiyu and the others face. If it is normal, if the other party does not have the same level of identity, it is absolutely impossible to have such treatment. But today, there was no sound. Chiyu shook hands with Gaara on behalf of Konoha and said goodbye. One is to express the alliance between the two countries, and the other is to confirm their friendship. And as open black lens bracket Ren Jinchuriki, column force close black lens bracket Naruto shook hands with me, they who have the same aspiration can undoubtedly become friends. And when Chiyu saw this matter in his eyes, he secretly said in his heart, "Little brother, it's not worth it for me to use the chakra of one tail to save you. Because friends are the first step, and they will become younger brothers in the future. After a simple conversation, Shiyu's group of 8 people formed a circle just like the day before yesterday. Needless to say, they used the art of Hiraishin again. Goodbye, everyone. Voice fell, Shiyu's thoughts moved, and the 8 people 8 disappeared in place in an instant. With the departure of Tokiyu and others, everyone in Sunagakure village had roughly the same thoughts, with only a few exceptions. 2 of the most prominent. Exclamation mark. The first is Gara. He knew that without Shiyu, he would have fallen long ago. Nor will he regain his belief in survival after returning from the Chunin exam and become Kage. The second is Tamari. Looking at the place where Shiyu and the others disappeared, those firm and beautiful eyes seemed to have made up their minds. Next second, a bright smile appeared on her face. Takagawa Takiwa, I look forward to seeing you again. At the same time, in Hokage's office, Tsunade is discussing something with Shizune. Next second, Shiyu and his party of 8 suddenly appeared in front of them. Fortunately, they already knew that Shiyu had learned the Hiraishin art, otherwise, surprise would be inevitable. Grandma Tsunade, we're back. Tsunade also showed joy when he saw Shiyu and the others, but the next second he asked aloud. Shiyu, why do you think of me as a teleportation point? This is the Hokage office. Except for Hokage, no one can come and go without permission. Not to mention using it as a teleportation point. Hearing this, Shiyu sneered. I'm not here to make it easier for me to return to life. It's not an example. Tsunade said softly. She was embarrassed to give Shiyu special care in front of such a person. Kingai opened up the whole thing and told Tsunade about it. Are you pulling out the tail beast? Tsunade murmured, and then said, as expected, it is the same as the information Jiraiya inquired, their goal is all tailed beasts. After explaining the matter, Kakashi was also sent to the hospital to rest. Shiyu knew that it was not the time to transplant Hashirama cells to Kakashi, because the secret had to start with Danzo. Or wait until the right moment. And when Tokiyu thought of Danzo, the latter also took action. Danzo's eyes and ears can be said to be spread all over the world, and he has already learned that Tokiyu showed the Hiraishin art in Sunagakure village. Why he became more and more interested in the former. Konoha open black lens bracket root close black lens bracket base. At this moment, there was a boy kneeling in front of Danzo, about 15 or 16 years old. Danzo looked at the young man in front of him and said slowly. I have asked someone to arrange that you will temporarily stay in Kakashi class until Sasuke returns. You are about the same age as Takagawa Tokiha, and stronger than your age. From today until the end of the mission. Your name is Sai. The reason why Danzo named Sai is because the people at Root have always been killing machines that obey orders. Once in this organization, they have no name. 4 Because Tokiyu told Tsunade about the Tiandi Bridge in the Kingdom of Grass, and there are only 8 days left for this matter. And because of Kakashi's body, he definitely can't go to this mission. Originally Tsunade planned to add 2 members. But because of Danzo's intervention, he united the 2 of Kaharu Udatane and Homura Mitokado and forcibly took the new member on the grounds that Naruto was Jinchuriki column force. Selection. Tsunade originally refused to do this. But due to his responsibilities and pressure as a Hokage, he could only agree. The next day, in Hokage's office. In front of Tsunade stood a man with a mask in front of him, and that mask was the representative of Anbu. The man in front of him is an Anbu member who belongs to the direct jurisdiction of Hokage. At the same time, the latter is also the only one of Konoha's Mokuden, wood-style, blood-stained boundary, whose name is Tianzo. However, starting today he will have a new name. Open black lens bracket Yamato close black lens bracket. Please download Faye to see the underlined version of the novel. Chapter 237 Anbu and the Roots. Sakai and Sasuke. That's probably what happened. Tsunade briefly explained the general situation to Yamato, and then said, So, now you are replacing Kakashi. It's my honor to replace Kakashi, senpai. This is not an Anbu mission, so you can take off your mask. In the meantime, you should be called Yawa. Got it? Seeing Yamato nodding, Tsunade also continued. In addition, there is another root member who is cultivated by Anbu and will be assigned to the Kakashi class. During the mission, you have to pay attention to his every move. Hearing Tsunade's words, Yamato also wondered. What does it mean? Because of that newcomer, it was recommended by Danzo. Tsunade responded with a sound, and then said, Danzo is a hawk who opposed the third-generation Hokage in the past. In Anbu, he is an action force. Later formed the training department root of Anbu and became the head of the department. You should have heard his name. Although Gen has been disbanded and he lost his power for a while, he still can't guess what he is thinking. Hearing Tsunade's words, Yamato fell into deep thought. 16 for open black lens bracket Danzo close black lens bracket, he is very familiar with it. Because before, he also worked under open black lens bracket Danzo close black lens bracket, but because of Kakashi's intervention, he turned him back. Why he has a different feeling for Kakashi. Lord Hokage, are you thinking too much? Hope it. Tsunade sighed lightly, and then said, okay, now you go meet the team members. Yes. Voice fell, and Yawa also disappeared from the office. Bang! As the door to the office was closed by Yamato, Tsunade crossed his hands and held his chin. Danzo, I hope you don't think twice. Because I have nothing to do with you. Tsunade refers to open black lens bracket 3 generations of Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen close black lens bracket. 15 years ago, 4th generation died in the Battle of Kyubi, Nine Tails, and Sarutobi Hiruzen was renominated for Hokage. But when he was reporting to the Fire Country Daimyo, Danzo sent someone to kill him secretly. Although 3 generations knew about it, he still died in the end. But Tsunade is different from Sarutobi Hiruzen, she has nothing to do with Danzo. So once Danzo touches her inverse scales, there's a price to pay. Moments later. And Naruto are instructed by Tsunade to meet their new captain and new team members. Along the way, Naruto was quite curious about it. However, Shiyu didn't have the slightest expectation. Because of these two strangers, he already knew it. After arriving at the indicated location, Tokiyu and Naruto saw a fair-skinned boy. Before they knew each other, Yamato appeared. Glancing at the three of them, Yamato did too. Presumably you've all been given fire orders to replace Kakashi with me during this time. Are you the one to replace Kakashi? Naruto rode. Yamato nodded, and then said, the 4 of us are going to the mission soon, so everyone will briefly introduce themselves. Uzumaki Naruto. Takagawa Tokiha. After hearing that Tokiyu declared himself about his family, Yamato and Sai also gave the former one more look. Because Shiyu's reputation in Konoha is not small. Although it's not as much attention, at least it is already the strongest genius by word of mouth. After all, everyone knows that Tokiyu is owned by Bloodstained Boundary. Although they knew in advance that Tokiyu was in Kakashi's class, they couldn't help but look shocked when they actually saw the latter. Because Shiyu's aura is different from others. After Sakai was slightly stunned, Sakai also said, Sai. Yamato's voice sounded again after Sai announced his name. Okay, now we know each other. Now, let me explain the mission of the Kakashi class this time. From now on, the 4 of us are going to the Tiandichou in the Land of Grass to catch the spy that Orochimaru sent there, and bring it back to Konoha. If it goes well, we can get more information about Orochimaru from him. So, I hope you all do your best. After a detailed elaboration, after a slight pause, the shouting explained. Now go back and prepare ninja tools and luggage, and gather at the main entrance in an hour. As Yamato's voice fell, Tokiyu and the 3 of them dispersed. Hours later, Konoha main entrance. Seeing Shiyu coming, a habitual word was spit out from Gang Ziti's mouth. Shiyu, I have to perform a mission again. Nodded, while he was chatting with Gang Zitai and Kamizuki Izumo. Naruto, Sai and Yamato also appeared one after another. The three of them were very happy to see the two gods Shiyu and Konoha, and they were also a little surprised. They obviously didn't expect that Shiyu would have such a good relationship with them. Because Naruto went out to practice for more than 2 years, he also didn't know the reason. Seeing that everyone has arrived, Yamato is no longer ink. Okay. Kakashi class, let's go. As Yamato's voice fell, the 4 Tokyo 4 also slowly walked away under the watch of Gang Zitai and Kamizuki Izumo. Along the way, Naruto kept staring at Sakai because he was comparing the latter to Sasuke. Shiyu, that guy makes me feel weird. Naruto's voice fell, and before Tokyo could answer, Sakai was the first to speak. Don't keep staring at me, be careful I beat you. The way you talk is so annoying. Sakai smiled shyly, I didn't pull it maliciously. Don't come. I just want to cooperate with you. Our current 040 department is not at the point where we can make jokes. You really make me very upset. A loud voice. Seeing this scene, Yamato also said. Hey, Naruto. How can you say something like this in front of the captain? The most important thing in a class is mutual trust and teamwork. Kakashi-senpai should have taught you. But he's not a member of Kakashi's class at all. Naruto responded and immediately said, the other member of our class is Sasuke. This guy just fills the vacancy when Sasuke is away. I don't admit that such a guy is a member of Kakashi's class. From Naruto's attitude, it can be seen that Sasuke's position in his heart cannot be replaced by anyone. This may be a husband and wife. Hearing Naruto's words, Sasuke still said with a smile on his face. I'm relieved to hear you say that. I am who I am, not anyone's stand-in. Seeing that Naruto was about to speak, Shiyu interrupted him directly. Naruto. Everyone has their own characteristics, you don't need to deliberately compare others with Sasuke. As soon as Shiyu said these words, Naruto suddenly became quiet. I see. Seeing this scene, both Yamato and Sakai were stunned. They obviously didn't expect Naruto to obey Shiyu's words like this, knowing that Yamato's words as the captain are useless. When Shiyu said a word, he was quiet. That's why they became more curious about Shiyu. Feilu reminds you, there are 3 things to do when reading. Chapter 238-2, Mokuden Wood-style Ninjas. However, come back. Sakai, I really can't compliment your fake smile. Shiyu knew that Sai stayed at open black lens bracket general, close black lens bracket when he was very young, so he didn't know how to express joy, anger, sorrow and joy at all. I didn't expect you to see through it. Why are you pretending? Naruto said puzzled. Because that's what it says in the book. Sakai responded and immediately said, smiles are the best way to deal with troubles, even if it's a fake smile, everyone is easy to be deceived. Naruto. Yamato. Naruto and Yamato who heard the words were stunned, and only Shiyu knew the reason. Otherwise, he wouldn't have spoken just now. Immediately after, Tokyo's 4 people 4 continued to step on the road to the land of grass. That night, stayed at a hotel, and in order to make Naruto and Sai have a good relationship, Yamato brought the 3 of them to Izumi when Shiyu, Naruto, Saoi. Men should be honest with each other, what do you think? Yamato had something to say, but only Shiyu understood what he meant. Immediately after, Yamato smiled slightly, then got up and left. He obviously wanted to leave the time to the 3 Shiyu 3, so that they could have a good relationship with each other. He didn't want to have another spat in the team for the rest of the time. And when he left, Yamato was telling a story. By the way, let me tell you something interesting. Hearing that Yamato was going to tell a story, Naruto immediately became interested. What's the matter? It was Jiraiya-sama who almost died when he was young. Yamato said slowly, and then continued. At that time, he broke 6 ribs, fractured both hands, and ruptured his internal organs in several places. Ah! Naruto exclaimed, and then said, the lecherous immortal is so strong, how can it be? Captain Yamato, do you know the reason? Naruto's question had just fallen, and before Yamato could answer, Shiyu was the first to say it. It should be Grandma Tsunade. When Shiyu said these words, Yamato and the 3 of them were surprised. Especially Yamato, he obviously did not expect Shiyu to be able to guess the culprit in this matter. Originally Naruto and Sai were suspicious because they couldn't figure out why Tsunade, who is also Sannin, would do this to Jiraiya. You must know that the 2 of them are disciples of the 3 generations of Hokage and their relationship is extremely good. However, Yamato's next words undoubtedly proved Tokiyu's guess. Shiyu, how did you know? Captain Yamato, you are definitely trying to warn us when you tell us about this in this atmosphere. Hearing Shiyu's answer, Naruto asked. Warning what? Don't cross the line. Shiyu rode. What is the boundary beyond the boundary? We are taking a bath here, so where is the world? What's on the other side of the left fence? Time road. Girls' bathroom. What does the lecherous fairy like to do the most? Peeping. Voice fell, and Naruto suddenly realized something. Shiyu, you mean the lecherous fairy got hurt like that because she peeped at Grandma Tsunade? Shiyu smiled slightly, then said to Yamato. Captain Yamato, you want to remind us not to peep. Hearing Shiyu's words, a look of astonishment appeared on Yamato's face. Shiyu, it is rumored that you are very smart. Seeing you today, sure enough. Yamato praised Shiyu, then left, leaving time to Shiyu and the 3 of them. The next day, Shiyu's group of 4 continued on their way, but today was not as lucky as yesterday. No so-called Wen Izumi Hotel, there are only wild countryside. Continue on the road, but come to an empty place. Okay, let's camp here today. After hearing Yamato's words, Naruto and Sai knew that today was obviously going to be close to nature. The sky is the quilt, and the ground is the bed. At this moment, a drink suddenly came out of Yamato's mouth. Open black lens bracket Mokuden, wood style, forge Jinchuriki, column family art close black lens bracket. As Yamato's voice fell, the ground suddenly split open, and then a tree burrowed out of it. Immediately after. It was the second one, and a few seconds after the third one, a house made of wood appeared in front of Tokiyu and the 3 of them. This scene immediately surprised Naruto and Sai. Looking at the luxurious wooden house in front of him for a while, Naruto finally broke the silence. Captain, this is not called camping. Okay, come in with me. As Yamato's voice fell, the 3 of Tokiyu followed Yamato into the wooden house. Looking at the empty space inside, Naruto sighed. Alas, it's a pity that there are no beds and quilts. Indeed, if there were beds and quilts, it would be no different from a hotel room. Just as Naruto's voice fell, Shiyu said. There is no bed, but the quilt, I brought it. When Shiyu said this, Yamato and the 3 of them were stunned. They didn't know whether what Shiyu said was true or not. Until Shiyu took out the space scroll and took out 444 soft bags from it. At this moment, Yamato and Sakai were dumbfounded. They didn't expect Shiyu to use the space scroll to hold these things. You must know that the space scroll is a very precious thing. It takes a lot of effort to draw a space rune once. This is why ordinary people don't carry this kind of thing on their bodies, except those who need it for battle. Exceptions are open black lens bracket puppet close black lens bracket, open black lens bracket ninja tool close black lens bracket, open black lens bracket special ninjutsu close black lens bracket and so on. Because after he summoned the things in the space scroll, if he wanted to reseal it back, he needed to portray it again. So, Who would waste a lot of time and chakra doing such a boring thing? They are not allowed to have so much free time during the mission. Moreover, not everyone can engrave this space rune, at least they need to know a little bit of space rune to do it. However, for Toshiyu, these were nothing more than easy to follow. The reason why Naruto wasn't surprised was because Shiyu used to seal the food in the space scroll. It's not the first time he's seen it, so no fuss. Shiyu. You even brought the quilt, why don't you bring another bed? Hearing Naruto's question, Shiyu smiled slightly. Captain Yamato can even build a house, a bed is not a simple matter. Ah, that's right. Naruto responded lightly, and then said puzzledly, by the way, Shiyu, I haven't seen you bring a quilt before, ah. Why did you bring it all of a sudden this time? Don't you know that Captain Yamato can build a house with ninjutsu? Hearing Naruto's words, Sakai and Dao's eyes also fell on Tokyo. Apparently, they were also quite curious. It's a tent. The quilt comes with it. This is what I used to store in case of emergencies when I went to Yamanaka to catch the micro-fragrant insect. This result made the three of them stunned for a moment. They thought that Shiyu had the ability to predict the future, but it turned out to be the case. But Shiyu had already guessed it. It's just because he had reserves before, so he didn't prepare it specially. Lazy to explain why. Otherwise, Naruto will definitely ask the truth. After this problem was solved, Naruto suddenly thought of another problem. Therefore, his eyes could not help but fall on Yamato. Captain, you used Mokuden wood style just now. The reason why Naruto asks like this is because he knows that Tokyo also seems to have open black lens bracket Mokuden wood style close black lens bracket. Although I have only seen it once, it is still fresh in my memory. Because of that trick, it is too shocking. Open black lens bracket Mokuden wood style deep forest emergence close black lens bracket can be said to be the strongest that does not incorporate open black lens bracket Senpo, Sage Art close black lens bracket open black lens bracket one of Mokuden wood style. Chapter 239 The Country of Grass. Heaven and Earth Bridge. Captain Yamato, you used Mokuden wood style just now. Hearing Naruto's question, Yamato nodded, and then said, is there a problem? Originally, Yamato thought Naruto was going to ask him about Mokuden wood style. After all, in everyone's impression, this kind of blood stain limit seems to be only owned by the first generation. However, Naruto's next sentence made him immediately startled. He will also be able to use this escape technique, Shiyu. What did you say? Shiyu will also be open black lens bracket Mokuden wood style close black lens bracket. The shouting between the words was incomparably astonished, and the result was obviously beyond his expectations. From what he knew, he only knew that Shiyu was a great genius. Moreover, he also mastered open black lens bracket Jiden, magnet style close black lens bracket. But I have never heard that Tokyo also mastered other open black lens bracket bloodstain limits close black lens bracket. Not only him, but also Nasawi looked surprised. Yes, I saw it with my own eyes 2 years ago. After being confirmed by Naruto, Sai and Yamato's eyes quickly fell on Tokyo. Shiyu, is what Naruto said true? Yamato rode. Now that the arrow is on the string, this forced Shiyu can't do without pretending. After pondering for a while, Shiyu also nodded slightly. But even his slight actions made Yamato look horrified. He didn't expect that Shiyu actually had the second kind of blood stain limit as master, and he was still looking at Mokuden wood style. No, 040, he can master Mokuden wood style or because of Danzo's experiment. Of course, part of it was his own. Because he happens to have water and earth chakra in his body, and he also has the talent of awakening this bloodstain limit. Otherwise, Danzo would not be the only one who succeeded among the countless experimental subjects. This is accidental and inevitable. There are external factors in his comprehension, but Tashiu undoubtedly comprehends it by himself. Comparing the two, there is a gap. Although I have not witnessed it with my own eyes, Yamato believes that Tokyo and the two should not get together. Lie to him. Because there is no need for this. And this news is undoubtedly good news for Sakai. He entered the Kakashi class this time and seems to be keeping an eye on Naruto, Kyuubi, Nine Tails, Ren Jinchuriki, Column Force, but in fact Danzo thinks to learn more secrets of Shiyu. Yamato stared at Shiyu for a long time before changing the subject. Okay, now let's get down to business. Tokiha, I want to ask you something about open black lens bracket Akatsuki close black lens bracket member open black lens bracket Sasori close black lens bracket. Sasori of the Red Sand. Shiyu Road. Yamato nodded, and immediately said, although Sunagakur Village has given me his file, his personality, words, actions, habits and other things are not detailed. So, please tell me if you know. After all, you are the one who saw him with your own eyes. Captain, why are you asking these questions? Naruto said puzzled. The one who infiltrated Orochimaru to stop it is a spy planted by Sasori and will meet Sasori at Tiandichou. So, I want to go to a date pretending to be Sasori. Hearing Yamato's words, Sai, who had been silent for a long time, finally spoke up. Being a spy is very risky because the other side should be very cautious. Furthermore, people who can be sent as spies have extraordinary insight, and sometimes a small detail is likely to be seen as a flaw. Sai is right. Yamato responded lightly and continued, so we also have to guard against this possibility, maybe this may be a trap set by Sasori. Therefore, it is up to me to connect with the other party first. And you are hiding in the dark, waiting for my secret code action. Seeing Tokiyu and the three of them nodded in succession, Yamato continued. Let's get to the point now. Our purpose is to capture each other, so we can't let the target die, even in a fight with the target. Because if the target is killed, the source of intelligence we have finally found will be interrupted. So, the mission this time is more difficult than hitting the enemy. It is precisely because this is a very delicate task. It is up to me to contact the target, and you are responsible for supporting it. So in a meeting there are two situations. The first case is that I successfully grab the target. The second situation is that I fail to capture and fight with the target. At that time, you must act immediately and try to capture the target as soon as possible. If the second situation occurs, we will fight in pairs at any time. While one moves, the other takes cover. Mutual support is the most basic principle in the squad. Now, I'll decide the partner group. The first group is Naruto and Sakai, and the second group too is me and Tokiha. After hearing Yamato's grouping, Sakai was slightly taken aback, then smiled. Please advise. However, Naruto was not happy. Captain Yamato, why am I teaming up with this guy? Naruto, you are not allowed to mess around at this time. Yamato replied in a deep voice, and then explained, Shiyu is the only medical ninja in our team, so we can't let him get hurt. So, partner with Tokyo. Yamato's consideration is indeed reasonable, the medical ninja is the core of a squad. Or even dying in battle, medical ninjas are needed to help. And once the medical ninja is injured, the team's continuous combat effectiveness will plummet, and the injury will not be guaranteed. This is why in previous ninja wars, both sides would choose to kill the medical ninja first. It seems to be just a support, but it can often play a key role. Okay, that's it. However, because there is no reason for running in advance, I decided to use half a day tomorrow to simulate the partner's actions. Although I'm not good at doing these things, I only know about the treatments you have recorded, and I can't make a reasonable command without knowing their fighting style and ninjutsu. You might think I'm being too cautious, but that's my style. Knowing more about each other can make the team move more smoothly. So, just obey. After the tactical discussion was over, Shiyu took out a large amount of food from the space scroll. Compared to the hotel, it's more insufferable. After being shocked before, Sai and Yamato are not so shocked this time. However, it still feels a bit wasteful. But it tastes really delicious. This is undoubtedly the most hearty meal they have eaten in the wilderness, no one. After eating and drinking, everyone falls into a sweet dream. The next day, Yamato is the opponent of Naruto and Sai, allowing them to perform simulated cooperation training. And Shiyu was almost watching the play, because Yamato had no problem dealing with them. From this, it can be seen that Yamato does have decent strength, worthy of the level of the elite Jonin. However, through this simulated battle, Yamato discovered one thing. That is, Sai's strength is very strong. This incident surprised Yamato, but one thing is that his plan has a way out. That is, Naruto and Sai can't cooperate at all. Yamato is also quite helpless about this. The third day, Shiyu and his party of 4 continued on their way and headed for their destination. A few days later, they finally arrived at the Tiandi Bridge in the Land of Grass, which is a vermilion-colored bridge. After Tokiyu's 4 people arrived, they used Sai's Super Beast false painting to send out a group of mice to survey the surroundings. Why Yamato is sure that this is not Sasori's trap. Next, Yamato used the open black lens bracket Mokuten wood-style transformation technique close black lens bracket in the form of open black lens bracket Sasori close black lens bracket in the photo to become open black lens bracket puppet Fei Liuhu close black lens bracket, and he himself is hidden in it like the real open black lens bracket Sasori close black lens bracket. Then Shiyu and the 4 of them waited for a while, when they saw a guy in a blue robe appear. Others don't know who this guy is, but Shiyu knows it. The little prince of spy. However, today the latter came to see Sasori to report Orochimaru's information is just a superficial job, his real intention is to kill Sasori. Because today is not only him, but also Orochimaru. Chapter 240 Yakushi Kabuto. Orochimaru. Seeing that he had appeared, Yamato also hurriedly said. The target has appeared, act according to the plan. Yamato, who had finished speaking, was ready to act, but at this time it was a voice. Wait. Shiyu, what else are you doing? Captain Yamato, Orochimaru is good at insidiousness and cunning. You have to be careful when you meet later. If Orochimaru has turned the spy sent by Sasori into rebellion, then this encounter may turn into a hangman banquet. So, you have to be careful later. Hearing Shiyu's words, Yamato was also taken aback. The possibility you said is not impossible, I will pay attention. Yamato didn't expect Shiyu to think so comprehensively, and even the worst plan was taken into consideration. Because of this, even the captain didn't think of it. Time waits for no one, so Shiyu is no longer talking nonsense. Because this reminder from him is enough. Immediately after, he is Kazuto, and Sakai hides behind a rock not far away. Sasori that Yamato has changed is also slowly moving towards the center of the bridge. Watching the blue robes and Yamato keep approaching, Naruto and Sakai's eyes were firmly locked on them. Obviously, they wanted to know the true face of the robe. The 2 of them reached the center of the bridge one after another, and finally stopped. Then, as a subordinate, the quiet atmosphere was opened. Sasori-sama, long time no see. Voice fell, it was the hat that was slowly torn off. Immediately after, a familiar face appeared in the field of vision of Shiyu and others. And Yamato were stunned when they saw this person. They never thought that the spy, Sasori, sent to Orochimaru turned out to be their Konoha ninja. Quote. The name resounded in Naruto and Yamato's hearts at the same time. After revealing his true face, Kabuto's voice sounded again. Almost 5 years. Yamato, who heard the words, also recovered from his stupor. Fortunately, he used open black lens bracket Mokuten wood-style close black lens bracket to change to open black lens bracket puppet Fei Liuhu close black lens bracket. Otherwise, there may be some flaws that will be caught. After calming down, Yamato said in a low voice. Not being followed. Don't worry. Kabuto said confidently, because he was indeed not being followed, but came with others. How's the situation over there? Yamato asked. The book you gave me was unraveled, and it reminded me of who I am. The wonderful feeling, and that feeling is still there. So, I still feel a little dizzy now. Open black lens bracket Sasori close black lens bracket master is a technique to seal people's memories. He used this technique to seal many of his subordinates, so that they went to various places to act as spies. For example, Yura of Tsunagakure village, Konoha, and this technique of sealing memory is called sand manipulation. Put the size, extremely small, fine needles of sand. A technique that passes through the memory of the brain to seal the memory of the subject. After the surgery is lifted, the needle will disappear and the memory will be restored. Soon after approaching Orochimaru, who likes to do scientific research, found a clue. So he opened his mind early, and after countless studies, he was finally the master who mastered this ninjutsu. Enko's memory disappears, that is, he has been hit by this technique. I have a few questions to ask you. Hearing Yamato's words, Kabuto said, I'm short on time, so I hope you'll be as brief as possible. I came here without telling Orochimaru. I tried my best. Give me the location of your base. Yamato wrote. We have multiple bases. Kabuto responded, then said, in order not to let me find out where we are, we move to a new base every week. Of course, there are also other countries outside the land of grass. Base. Orochimaru will send ninjas lurking in various countries to take us there, but the transfer method is very troublesome, and I can't explain it to you in detail here. Our base is currently on a small island in the northern lake. If nothing else happens, we will move again in 3 days. By the way, Orochimaru is still protected in the original body after reincarnation, so I have no way to analyze those remains. That's it. Yamato can only say so. However, it was because of Yamato's answer that Kabuto was suspicious. That's why he tried to test it out. Then Sasori-sama, please give me that thing, I can't stay here any longer. If I'm caught talking here for too long, I'll be killed. Good. Yamato responded with a sound. Obviously he also sensed the meaning of Kabuto's words. The latter did not specify the so-called thing, and if nothing else, it was clearly testing him. Whether he answers or not, his identity will be revealed. That's why Yamato took out Kuwu and prepared to capture Kabuto. However, the moment Yamato took out his kunai, Kabuto in front of him was suddenly entangled by a large snake. At this time, there is another person behind Kabuto. This person is not someone else, it is open black lens bracket Orochimaru close black lens bracket. The appearance of Orochimaru reminds Yamato of what Tokyo just said, that is, will Kabuto betray after Orochimaru appeared, the indifferent voice also sounded. You guys seem to be talking about something interesting, can I be together? Seeing this, Yamato secretly thought, Kabuto was being followed for the next second. Yakushi, who had been entangled by Orochimaru, suddenly broke free from Orochimaru's shackles, leaving only that blue robe. Flashed to Yamato's side, and then said, if you hadn't taken out kunai just now, I wouldn't have had time to escape. Hearing Kabuto's words, Yamato believes that his identity has not been revealed. At the same time, I think it may be that Tokyo is overhearted, and Kabuto is simply being followed. However, he still kept an eye on it. Moreover, the appearance of Orochimaru made him extremely afraid that the latter was one of Sannin, and his strength was beyond doubt. He did not think that he would be the opponent of the latter. However, Orochimaru has never seen Yamato's identity. I miss your outfit, Sasori. Did you follow Kabuto here? Yamato wrote. Because I want to thank you for sending this kid to me, this kid is really good. Orochimaru chuckled, then said, you know what? To develop a new ninjutsu, you only need at least 100 experimental subjects, because this child's medical ninjutsu is very good, but the experimental subjects seem to have used it many times. That's why it saves me a lot of test subjects. After all, it's not easy to get an experimental body. In fact, Orochimaru has already pointed to it here, and the ninjutsu he studies includes the subconscious mind exercise sand created by Sasori. But Yamato definitely doesn't know. Seeing Orochimaru appearing, Naruto, who was hiding in the dark, also asked, "Shiyu, what should I do now?" "Don't panic, everything is under my control," Shiyu replied, and then said, "Naruto, don't you really want to see Sasuke?" "Sasuke, will he come here too?" "You'll find out later." As Shiyu's words fell, Naruto became extremely excited. He knew that Shiyu would know the art of Hiraishin, and he had been in touch with the latter for more than 2 years. Naruto knew the inside story, but Sakai was at a loss. Because according to his information, Sasuke was captured by Orochimaru, but why did he declare that he was going to practice? However, the latter had disappeared for 2 years, and Shiyu seemed to know the latter's movements. This made him even more confused.